Hey y'all, how is it going? How's it going? It's Friday. Real quick, let me just do a thing real fast. 1 second. I'm just going to refresh the thing, and then we'll start, talking about stuff as we do on this here stream, this here show, this here thing that we do on Fridays. 1 second. Okay, just gonna do this. That should sort itself out. Very good. Hello, y'all. How's it going? Hope you are doing well. It's Friday. Today it is Friday, and well, we're gonna do some viewer levels tonight, as per usual. That's right, Friday. Happy day, generally speaking. I will say, right now, I am kind of unbound by that. You see, right now I am what they call in between jobs. I have entered this state this week, and I'll say I'm honestly, I'm ready. I'm happy. I'm feeling good about the future. And, I've been at the previous company I was at for like 10 years, and I'm ready for something new and shit, You know what I mean? Anyway, it's a whole hell of a lot to busy myself with, and a whole lot to think about, a whole lot to do. But also, you do have more time when you're between jobs. And I have, like I said, I've not been in this state for 10 years since I started working in the first place. So I'm kind of excited to be like, to have a little bit of a breather, I guess. I've heard people say, like, when I've said, like, yeah, it's been 10 years, it's like, holy shit, people usually don't stay at companies that long, You know what I mean? And, yeah, I absolutely, it's been a long time since I was, really shopping around for new gigs, and looking around, I'm pretty excited by what I see as far as, like, man, I'm looking forward to something entirely new, while still being in the same, still software engineer and whatever, and also, like, something befitting, like, 10 years experience now, rather than, when last time I looked, it was, my first job. That's a whole different can of worms. I think now I'm a lot more, like, I know what work entails now, I'm more experienced, and, I'm excited for that to make a difference, and, like, yeah, think I'll be much more suited to, like, the job hunt process now that I have practical experience and shit, That's where it comes down to, and, by the way, as a result of that, I've decided to go ahead and do a little bit of a sub-goal. Yesterday, started it up, and tonight it's ongoing. I'm going to leave it on for, like, the remainder of this stream, and I'll tell you, if we get 10 subs by the end, I will do 50 turns of Mario Party 4 tonight, after the Mario Maker viewer levels, which will last the normal Mario Maker viewer levels time. So you don't have to worry about that being, like, shorter or anything. Like, no, we'll finish that up and then go over to Mario Party 4, should that be hit. Yeah, so that is fun, that is good. Let's do the next card. Follow up on that VOD from 3 weeks ago. Last week, I did mention that it had gotten up to, like, 1,000 views. The one from 3 weeks ago. Now 3 weeks. It's now up to like 3,000 and like change, 3,700 last I looked, and I continue to be blown away by, like, how successful that one VOD is being, versus, like, it's a 3.8K now, versus, like, everything else, which is of a lower level of success, more reasonable, I suppose. On the YouTube, this is talking the YouTube VODs specifically. Now that VOD was called the same thing I call all the VODs, Friday Evening Viewer Levels, but its subtitle was the Mario Maker 2 game, which was a reference to all those things they were saying about Mario Wonder during the Direct and such. You know, calling it the Super Mario Brothers Wonder game. And that was a riff off that, and, you know, part of me gotta wonder if having Super Mario Maker 2 in the name, in the thumbnail, all that, actually makes a pretty big difference as far as whether people can find it on YouTube, you know? And to that end, I'm gonna say the following. My plan is to change up how the name of the VODs go from here on out. Tonight's, I believe, will be the first to be called just Super Mario Maker 2 Viewer Levels, SMM2 Viewer Levels, and drop the whole Friday evening part from the name. Now, I'll say, like, the live streams have long since dropped the Friday evening part from, like, the stream name. Right now, the stream is called Viewer Levels as per usual. You know, and usually it's something like that, it's just like viewer levels, viewer levels, viewer levels, or some other just random thing I put in and hope that, like, yeah, so long as people know it's viewer levels, that's good enough, right? But going forward, the VODs now will be called that. And I'll say, like, why I went with Friday evening viewer levels. Part of it is because for ages, you know, I was a big fan of my regular Friday thing for a while. Was watching Giant Bomb's Unprofessional Friday feature, and I really like, I guess, the idea of a big Friday night live stream as like a big to-do, as like a Friday adjacent thing, you know? I feel like the Friday vibes are good and cozy, and, you know, that's why I've always included it in the name. But also, I've sometimes done these streams not on Fridays, or like Friday mornings, or like other times, and it doesn't need to be in the name. You know, as far as the VOD goes, it goes up 24 hours later. It's no longer really Friday when it goes up. It's probably fine to just drop that part from the title, and you know, I think that it'll be good. All right, before we get into it, I'm gonna show off some changes to my previous level. A little bit of a Super World update. I have this one level here that I have updated a good deal. Let me just talk through the updates and how I hope that it is, like, easier now. You know, more approachable by the folks. Did these revisions like Tuesday night, and did those revisions like Tuesday night, I believe. Put it up, you know, Tuesday roundabout, I think. Was that Tuesday? Was the 20th Tuesday? Let me see. Yeah, like Wednesday morning. You took back your world record. Well, you're gonna have to do that, yeah. Ah, you just did. Perfect. Good. Okay. It hadn't refreshed. Very good. Good work on that, Ida. Let me go over the changes. Let me go over the changes for y'all and talk about the thought process. Yeah, I saw a lot of people struggling with this part, so I put this mushroom here for two reasons. One, makes it easier. Two, it sort of draws the player over here, which happens to give this spike really good positioning to be killed thereafter. You know, it's good for multiple reasons. I thought about removing this one as well, but I decided to err on the side of, like, caution. I don't know if that's overkill. Honestly, maybe we should reel back some of these changes, but let me show you. Added this just to make it so that if you waited around a bit and they got really up on your ass, you had, like, some choices here. So, like, previously, if these guys got all up in your face, you'd be like, oh no, I can't do anything here. Now you can at least be like, okay, get out my face. Get out my face. You can at least make a little room and, like, get over here and maybe do some stuff like this and get around them. That was basically my thought process there, as far as, like, making a little bit of room for people to do a little bit of maneuvering and, you know, get around these guys. I did think about maybe having it a little bit lower, but I don't know. This seems like a nice place for it. Next change, this area has been made a little different. You can see here that it's a little more spacious, and also these guys were moved down a bit. Also, I added a big letter B to make sure that you knew that you could jump on them. Hello, Alex. Go ahead and do !add, and then your level code, and that'll put it in the queue. I also put this pipe here to make it so that players could no longer just try to fly underneath the guys at this point, because that's something I saw a couple of players doing, just like trying to go under, and that's really dangerous in this particular spot. Like, it's not really going to work out for you if you try to do it that way. I also did have a thought as far as, like, you know, most of the power-ups in this first half being, like, sort of like optional challenges. Like this one in particular was the second power-up, and it's sort of set up as an optional challenge. So I decided to add one more to the first half. I do kind of feel like this might be overkill, you know, 3, 4 power-ups, but, you know, one of them is always gonna, the first 2 are always gonna be mushrooms, so it's really just 3 here, and this one is just one that you can get real easy if you don't grab any of the previous ones. I think that is fair. I think that is fun. I also expanded this area out so that there was more room to maneuver. If for some reason you decided to go up rather than under, there's now room to combat these guys and, like, get by them and, like, figure it out, you know? Whereas previously, there were a lot of times where you just wouldn't have the space to do that. Small changes in the second half. Second half changes, a lot more minor. First off, this mushroom is now just requires no jump. Saw a lot of players, like, failing to get it, and that seems like a kind of a bad experience. I think I extended this part out a bit, or maybe that was beforehand. This area, I think, is pretty much unchanged, other than I moved the coin arrow to be such that you couldn't accidentally collect it. That way, it'll be there when you wonder, like, hey, where the fuck am I supposed to go? The coin arrow will show you the way. Now, I know that usually you would probably just use a regular-ass arrow, but I prefer to use arrows only in the Super Mario World sense of being near the end of the level, so that's that. Another couple changes here. Added a coin arrow pointing down at the lower rafts. Changed up this end a bit. Made this flight a little more free. And yeah. Another big change is over here. You can see this guy here. There's now this pipe thing here. What that pipe is supposed to do is to make it so that if you jump on the raft at an awkward time, let's say, I'm gonna let him throw a thing. I'm gonna stand over here and let him throw a thing. Previously, he would sometimes get up one and then throw it right when you need to jump. This thing will prevent him from being able to do that, so you'll always be able to jump at this segment. Also, this change makes it so the reason why previously you could just, like, go through this whole thing by remaining on the skull raft, right? And you would go right through this. And the reason why that was set up that way is because if you don't kill this guy, the spike, he needs to be sequestered so he doesn't, like, fall into the path of the other blue, you know? And I, instead of using a rainbow path for that, I used a cloud hidden by the saw, and that also sequesters the guy just as good. This bottom skull raft moved down just a bit, and that makes it so in this place you have to jump, which I think is fun and cool. I think it's fun and cool that you have to do a little jump here now, rather than just riding the skull raft all the way through. And that about covers it. You can see here with this obstruction, when you fall, you're gonna see these and know what you had to do, rather than like riding it out to here and then falling here and wondering what the fuck, because you know, if you die here, you have no fucking idea. There's no skull raft on screen, right? It's all messed up. Anyway, those are the iterations that I made based on the couple of players that I watched, including one Lord Bowser. I watched Lord Bowser play it, and you know, even though Lord Bowser has seen this level many a time, you know, seen it plenty, he did struggle on some of these particular parts, even, you know, given that he's seen it, which made me worry that, like, okay, well, something needs to be done to make this a little more fancy-free, a little more flexible. And I hope that this does the trick. I am not planning any further revisions. Please try out the level and, you know, play it and see how you feel. I think this is pretty good. This is pretty good now. It's, should be more in line with what I'm looking for. So far, the clear rate is not, like, the most impressive, but it is a World 8 level. It is supposed to be a little difficult. I feel like I've pulled it back as far as I can without, like, making it free. You know, without removing the chaos entirely. You know? I think I have done what I can. Let's start the viewer levels. Let's start up with that. Next, gonna get the full bar up. Ida is up first. Ida is good to go. Let me say how this works, for those who don't know. And those watching the VOD later on, whatever. Hey, Lord Bowser, how's it going? Let me tell you how this works. If you are here when your level comes up, I give it the full time of day. That is to say 15 minutes plus 5 last tries if that's not enough. If you're not here, I still play the level, but I do so in very nearly but not quite sudden death, wherein I only have 2 tries to beat the level, refreshing at checkpoints. Yeah, that about covers it. Hey, Lord Bowser. That's right, you got your new 7.2, which I think you did on stream yesterday, huh? Saw that. Didn't, you know, was preoccupied or something at the time what you were streaming. Okay. Right. Let's go ahead and put that timer up and get going. So, ride? Oh yeah, this is a ride. Alright. We got it now. We figured it out. Anyway. Yep. This one is pretty tough. I'll do my best. Hey, how about a card real fast? Kind of related to YouTube stuff. Do y'all regularly like YouTube videos? This might sound like something from, you know, as someone who does YouTube videos. Would be reasonable to say, you know, a lot of them say things like, you know, hit that like, hit that subscribe and shit. And I feel like, you know, I gotta be honest here. I don't have all those habits in me personally ingrained. I watch a lot of videos and I've realized recently, like, yeah, I don't really ever usually seek out that like button, even if I'm watching like dozens from the same creator, you know? It's not a thought that pops into my head like, after I'm done, go look for that like button below the video in that really small little box there, and go ahead and like put that in, you know? I feel like maybe this is just me speaking as like someone who would like to see likes come in, you know, who feels good when they do. But I feel like YouTube could do something more as far as like, you know, popping that up in cases where like, you know, you finished a video, let's say, you know, like, you know how in Mario Maker, the like button is like huge after you finish a level, kind of the main thing that you see. Could be something like that versus like a tiny little thing, a fraction of the screen that is very easy to like lose focus of in favor of like, ooh, another video, you know, that sort of thing, you know? I bet there's probably like mods or something that you can do, or like plug-in browser extensions that'll do something like that, you know. But I feel like they could do a bit better in like surfacing that stuff and like highlighting that and really just like building that habit. You know, I think that's exactly what it is. You know, liking stuff on the internet in general is a habit that you get into. A good habit, to be sure, but like it's a habit nonetheless. You have to sort of like build up the reflex to just like look for it every time, versus like just like thoughtlessly moving on. You know, like clearly they know that the habit of finding another video is an important one to cultivate. You know, one that they think about a lot and put in like multiple very good ways to like shuffle you to another video. But to like or comment, it's just I feel like it's like less emphasized now, especially with commenting. I do think that like part of it is like, you know, 15 years of like internet culture has made it so that like I feel like people avoid YouTube comments a lot of the time. I know that I sometimes do, you know, as far as like there's a lot of YouTubers that I've watched and I would never comment on. I would never think to do that, and I bet that that's pretty common now, as far as like, you know, really, you know, who's gonna comment on a thing? That's putting yourself out there. It's weird. Comments are sort of an infamous place for it. For like, you know, there's like a stigma with the comments, I feel like, as well. It sort of makes it a little bit weird to like drop stuff into the comments or whatever. Anyway, those are some thoughts I've been having about like YouTube stuff, considering, you know, been doing YouTube and stuff. You know how I have been doing. You're third, Lord Bowser. If you're looking at the list and wondering. Third in the queue. How's it going, Bowser? You doing something tonight? Or you, or what? Maybe it's later tonight. I'm not sure. I have more cards, by the way. Lot of stuff happening other than, you know, job stuff. You know, and I made cards to remind myself of all what it is, and so that I can go through it in a orderly fashion. Lord Bowser dropping an F. I appreciate it. I appreciate an F. Again, I do think that in a year's time, this will be one of the best things possible for me, you know? I'm looking at the, you know, at jobs out there now, and I'm, you know, feeling good, feeling excited for whatever comes next, you know? I feel a little bit re-energized and a little bit more positive. I will say it is scary not having something lined up, you know? Definitely, you know, affording to live is a hard thing in general, right now, and unemployment can only do so much, you know? That sort of deal. And I do know that, like, probably, like, December is gonna be, like... If I were to get to December without finding something, like, it might be difficult because, like, who hires in December, I think? Like, my dad was telling me that. My dad was a recruiter for, like, 20, 30 years, so he would know when people hire, you know? That's sort of his whole MO. That was sort of his whole career for, you know, so many years. That said, you know, hey, you know, if I have that in my corner, you know, that sort of experience. Then again, different world out there. A lot more LinkedIn-based versus just, like, whatever was before. Whole new world. I'll say I'm talking to a lot of folks right now, as far as new opportunities go. You know, it's a lot different from when I was entry level, you know, 10 years ago when I first got this job. It was the previous job that I had. My previous job, gotta stop saying this job or that job, you know, previous job. It's past tense now. When I got the previous job, I was, you know, entry level, fresh out of college, no previous experience, you know, no idea what the world was like, and also it was much different then. I think just in terms of, like, employment was everything. You should hold jump and stay still. Okay, when we hit the spring. Gotcha, thank you. Whole different world back then. You know, as far as, like, employment goes. Like, a lot of it now is just, like, entirely through LinkedIn, where you can just, like, find careers and opportunities, like, just through that social network, you know, not necessarily bothering with, like, Monster or, you know, or, like, application type stuff. And I'll say, like, you know, am I doing this wrong? What's up? Hold jump and stay still. Oh, maybe I left go a jump. I need to, like, hold on to it, maybe? I'll say that right now, just, you know, I've been, like, open to recruiters for a while. For actually, like, a couple months now, and I have gotten, like, a steady flow of, like, recruiters, like, you know, contact me and say, like, hey, I have a job for you. Let me tell you about it. And me saying, okay, tell me about it. So, like, I've just had a lot of stuff just coming to me, you know, versus before where it was always, you know, more of an active thing. And I will actively be looking as well, of course, but it's just kind of surprising to me, like, how many people are just approaching me and going like, hey, what's up? I got this for you. Is this good? And I'll say some of those are like, you know, they come and they say like, hey, here's the position. It's in Austin. And I'll say like, I don't live in Austin, you know, and I'm not going to also. And that's that, you know. And I even had one case where a recruiter did a call and shit, you know, scheduled a call, and was like, yeah, so the position is hybrid. The office is in the UK. It was like a town in the UK. And I explained, like, I'm in Texas, in Dallas-Fort Worth. It's in America. And they were like, oh, okay. And I was just like, what the fuck? Just kind of weirded out by that, you know? Obviously, if it's remote, I don't give a fuck where it is, and I would prefer that in any case. You know, remote is good, but, you know, whatever is gotta find a good fit in any case. And I'll say, like, for the wages that exist right now, I could do in person. That'd be fine. Maybe hold left. I'll try that. Thank you. I was also wondering maybe I need to, like, get up a running start. Maybe that could be it. Also, we don't need to wait around on the thing. We can just jam it. I think this is the first time I've seen the Super World Game Over screen, and I don't know how long. It doesn't really do anything, I guess, other than restart you from a checkpoint, so I guess it's fine. When's the last time y'all saw the Game Over screen on the Super World? Like, when's the last time that happened for y'all? I cannot think of any other occasion where I have done. Forgot? Yeah, right? It's not something you see. Oh well, it's not a big deal. Just have to see a thing for a second and then that's that. Hey, how about another card? Don't see it often. Yeah, who does? Hey, did you see that Kirby and the Amazing Mirror GBA Online is imminent? They announced the GBA release of Kirby and the Amazing Mirror long ago when they announced Game Boy Advance Online, but they finally announced the other day that it's coming, I think, next week. So, like, next Friday? I think it's like in a week's time. You know, hey, maybe we could do that for Thursday. That'd be fun. I love Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Definitely one of my favorite Kirbys. If you don't know Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, oh my god, it's really cool. And like, cool in a way that you couldn't really appreciate at the time, even. Basically, it's a multiplayer Kirby game where you can run around like a basically Metroidvania-style world, where there's all sorts of paths and like open world exploration, and you can play it 4-player, with 4 players each exploring the world at their own pace, you know, at their own discretion, and like splitting up and rejoining as they please. You can basically like call... Oh, there it goes. It was left. It was hold left. You were right. And like rejoin the group. You can like phone for help at any time, and that like calls in reinforcements. So anyone who like picks up the call, I guess, will be warped into wherever you are. So, you know, it's a lot of like exploration on different fronts, and I've never played it that way on account of I've never had 4 Game Boy Advances, 4 people who own the game, you know, that sort of thing. I did have my sister, and we did have 2 Game Boy Advance SPs, but we didn't have 2 copies. So, and I don't know that she was really all that chuffed by it in the first place. So, you know, not necessarily it was a thing back then. You know, you had to buy 2 copies of a game sometimes to play multiplayer, and that just wasn't happening in a lot of cases. Anyway, I'm excited to see it on Game Boy Advance Online. Like I said, it's one of my favorites, and the fact that Game Boy Advance Online has online play means that I can finally put together some online Kirby and the Amazing Mirror and play with people. And, you know, I'll say, like, I would love, if anyone is interested in, like, dropping by, hanging out, playing some Kirby with me, I would love to do that for the Thursday stream. Details forthcoming, I guess. You know, obviously it's probably coming out technically on Friday, but Virtual Console releases, or sorry, Nintendo Switch Online releases usually come out around 8 p.m. Central, around like around the time of a stream, maybe a little sooner, maybe a little later. Depends, you know. This is a hard level, you're right, this is pretty tough. We're about out of time. We'll do the last tries, and then we will mosey on, I suppose. Alright, the timer is up. Let me end the timer and put up last tries. 5 last tries. And I guess this actually syncs up with the 5 lives that we have. You repeat the level? Fantastic. The level you're trying to submit? Gotcha. You're trying to upload it, and then give it to me again. I feel ya. This level is TAS. No, it's not TAS only. It's doable. It's doable. We can do this. We got most of it down. I would not be surprised if these 5 tries are enough. I'm not sure if I got this. Okay. So, what? Wow! First try. You're talking about Ripsaw Rainbow? Ah, Can the Man, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it, and appreciate the revisions. Thank you very much. I always appreciate that. I suppose I should be getting out these levels more. I'll tell you, for the first time ever, I didn't go through the process for, usually when I put up a level, I would put it on the Reddit, on like Super Mario Maker 2 Reddit, in the level share, and I would do some of that. But you know what? This week, I didn't find time for it. You know, with everything else going on, I didn't do that. But I really should. I really should. That would probably help to get the level out there, get people playing it, and get some, like, feedback from more folks. Maybe there are further changes to be made. I don't know. I think I'm pretty happy with the state that it's in. And I think that the changes address the issues that people were having. Lord Bowser. you know, you could give it another shot. Let me know what you think as well. I might swing by one of your streams, Lord Bowser, and give it to you. I probably should swing by other people's streams as well. You know, I have time right now between, you know, job hunting and shit. Okay, Alexis is up. Alexis. Oh, sorry, Alex Peck. I don't know how I got Alexis from that. Alex Peck is up, and Alex Peck just did some stuff in chat, so is good to go. Let me pull that up, and also I'll do a card and talk about what's on it. Wait, what was the last one? Did we talk about the last thing that I pulled a card of? The first piece of news? Oh yeah, Kirby. Yeah, definitely. We talked about that. Okay, I was really excited about that. Here's something that's less good. Amazon Prime Video ads. They are talking now, Amazon is they're going to roll out a thing that on Amazon Prime Video, they're going to make it so that there's ads by default, and you're going to have to, like, do an upcharge every month to maintain ad-free status. That's like $3 a month. Kind of shit, really. Kind of a bummer. Yeah, no one's happy about this. That's really sucks, I think. I guess it's better than doing the thing where, you know, they crack down on password sharing like Netflix did. But I am still rather miffed, I would say, and a little bit annoyed, and also worried about what this means for... I'm fucked. I am worried about what this means for... Let's set the timer. I'm worried about what this means for, I'm worried about what this means for, watch parties on Twitch. You know, I like watch parties a lot. I like to watch parties. I like to occasionally do a watch party. And, like, if it's now if like Prime Video is now ad supported, like, what does that mean for watch parties? Does watch parties have ads now? Or will watch parties be, like, removed entirely from contention from the service? I worry about that, you know? I would hazard a guess that the people making these two changes to Prime do not know about watch parties, don't know it exists. Hello, Trafe? How do you say that? Trafe, yes, that's right. How you doing? How are you doing this day? This Friday, jeez. What do we do here? Is it on off? No, that's not it. That's death. That way lies. Let's think here. So this is the first thing. I'm feeling pretty good about this as, like, the first thing you have to do. And here, there's really no alternative besides going in this pipe. Could as well. Ah, you can go back through the pipe now. What? Can you go back through where what you came? Oh, Peeblehawk turns on. Beautiful. Become regular sized. Drop through here. Bah? Is this right? This is a cool troll level. I think you've done a good job. Oh! Of like making it a puzzle to puzzle out. Good shit. I'll say what I always say on troll levels, which is that a troll level is a puzzle level that kills you in funny ways. That was a funny way to kill me. I do not protest it. I think that goes without saying that was very funny. Okay, let's do it. Let's go. Do we have to be faster here or just like... sure what I did differently that time. Maybe there's like a on-off that you have to activate with the like music note thing, music note block. Anyway, that really sucks ass. I hope that Watch Party is not the level, the Amazon adding ads to Amazon Prime. You know, I have Amazon Prime myself, so I guess I need to figure out, like, if we're going to upgrade it to, like, ad-free, or if not. This is wrong, isn't it? Yeah, definitely wrong. Definitely not right. We need to drop in the pit. That's what we need to do. Okay, we're learning. We're learning. And I just hope that, you know... I hope that at some level, somewhere out there, the people at Twitch gotta be calling up, like, head office. Amazon Prime people are going like, hey, what the fuck? How is this gonna affect our thing that we got going? And they probably have no idea yet. I hope them luck, and I hope they figure it the fuck out before, you know, before the changes actually go through, because it would be bad if, like, watch parties were suddenly not a thing. Whoops. I mean, I guess it'd be cool if, like, they could expand it, honestly. Honestly, what I'll say about watch parties is that I wish that they could make further deals. You know, one of the reasons watch parties exist is that Amazon owns Twitch, so, you know, if they just have to work with themselves to get it so that you can stream a video, stream alongside a recording of, or not a recording, but, you know, like a movie or a TV show, and watch it with the people at home. But if they could, like, get HBO Max or, like, other streaming services that people have, that would be, like, better than the alternative, you know? Hey, we got a checkpoint. That's lovely. Jeez, a checkpoint, huh? This level is, not short then. Okay. Another whole bunch of segments. Do you like puzzle levels? I'm playing one right now. I know, it's a troll level. Same difference. Go ahead and submit. Whatever you got, fool with a tool. Fool with a tool? That's a nice name. Has a nice, ring to it. What the fuck? Cool. You did? Ah. Cool. Yes, good. I see that now. Eh? Eh? Oh, we need to hold right. We need to hold right, when we're falling. Okay. How about another piece of news of the world of recent days? Did you hear that Microsoft Activision was approved in the UK? They got, like, tentative approval to go forward with the acquisition of Activision. And if people don't remember, the UK was like the last holdout after they won their case in America to not be blocked by the FCC. So they're pretty much fucking clear to go now. They probably are gonna do it pretty soon here. Like, I would not be surprised if, like, by Monday, whatever, you know, Activision has been acquired by, like, you know, Microsoft, which, shit, man, it's been a long time. That shit's been a long time in the making. It's been, like, bounced around for a while. You know, their plans and all that, and, you know, I won't say that it's necessarily a good thing for the industry. It's probably not. Consolidation is not, but, man, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of it being, like, contention. I'm tired of it being, like, something that I have to think about and go, like, is that gonna happen? It's not gonna happen. Is it gonna happen? Maybe it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's pretty much 100% now. They are going through with it. You know what? If you're looking for, like, the silver lining or like perspective on it, I guess. I don't think it's the most evil acquisition that's ever gone through. You know, like Disney bought Fox a while ago and everyone was fine with it. You know, and that was a different FCC, to be clear, but still, man, that's a bigger acquisition than Activision is, which, you know, Activision is just some publisher that happens to be the biggest one, whereas like Disney Fox are, you know, probably like a half of others that like passed in the previous years. Those ones are like, you know, I would probably like start with some antitrust action before like necessarily like barring one publisher from acquiring another. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. You know what I mean? Like, just get your ducks in a row, and then you can say like, well, Microsoft, this publisher is really big. So what's up? I'll also say like, it'll be cool to have Microsoft. It'll be cool to have Activision games on Game Pass. I'm looking forward to that, I guess. In so much as you can look forward to the benefits of a big, you know, conglomeration, whatever. Insofar as you can look forward to that shit. Oh, crap. Insofar as you can look forward to that shit, I'm looking forward to, like, I've never played a Crash Bandicoot game. That's not true. I played one on the Game Boy Advance that was not very good. I would love to play that Crash Bandicoot 4 for free on a Game Pass stream, you know? I would love to try, what's a big Activision series? Oh, Call of Duty! I haven't played a Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2, which I didn't like, so when Call of Duty 4 came out, and everyone said, oh, this one's actually good, I didn't believe them, and just went up throughout my day, and I continue to do that for the last 20 years. So, I could absolutely try a Call of Duty. Fuck, there could be a whole Game Pass night. Okay, if they were to put, like, all the Call of Duties up on Game Pass, there could be a whole Game Pass stream where I'm just, like, trying out all the fucking Call of Duties. Would that be fun? I don't know. Are they different enough games where we would have an interesting time where that would be interesting? No way, fuck me. I shouldn't have done that. I keep screwing this up, I'm sorry. Not thinking. I'll get it this time. I don't know, could be fun. I'm looking on the bright side. And also, like, you know... And, looking forward to, whatever happens, you know? Looking forward to, like, whatever benefit I can extract from this. Insofar as, like, you know, yeah, I'll play those games on Game Pass. I love Game Pass. Game Pass is great. Game Pass is amazing value. You can't go wrong with Game Pass. How do you do this? What's the deal? Oh, it goes around after it splits off. You gotta jump here, right? Why do I get the feeling this is wrong? This doesn't look wrong. Oh, go down! Shit! I appear to be soft-locked. Here. That's unfortunate. I think I can crawl or do any such, like, clever thing to get out of this. Yeah, we gotta restart here. I remember how to do the first part, so it'll be fine. We still have time left on the clock, so don't worry too much about it. You're bad. Gotcha, yeah. You can't account for everything in creation. That's why it's important to get a level in front of people and, like, see how they take to it. You know, as far as I know, there could be soft locks in... Well, I hope there's not soft locks in my levels. If ever you find a soft lock in my level, please comment. Like, leave the kind of comment where it's on the level, so I will see it in-game and know where to look, You can also, like, say it in chat or whatever, you know. Tell me, and I will do a revision, I guess. Fuck, I forgot you fall at this point. We'll fall next time. Okay. I'll do another card. Another piece of news that's been going around. This one, another negative piece. Actually, no. This is the next one? Oh yeah, this is about the ongoing Unity disaster. So I've heard that Unity is like, I don't know if they're intending on, if they already have, but basically a week ago they rolled out some changes. They announced some changes, basically being like, hey, every time someone installs a game, we want $2.50. Or it was something like that. Maybe it was 25 cents. It doesn't matter. In any case, it's ridiculous to... The idea of, like, charging developers money per, like, install of a game is just ridiculous. And has so many, like, deep issues, such as, like, hey, wait, what about demos? What about demos? You're gonna charge me 25 cents for every time someone downloads a demo? Fuck you, what the hell? Or like, you know, all sorts of free-to-play games have that as a, you know, issue to deal with because they can't necessarily afford, like, you know, 25 cents a download could be like really, really bad for free-to-play games and stuff. And, you know, it's not good, you know? Anyway, everyone's really up in arms about it. And to the point where it seems like people are going to, like... It seems like we will be... It seems like they're gonna pull back from it, you know? That's what it seems like to me. What's the deal there? Well, that's... Okay. Let me end the timer and get up the last tries. Very good. 5 tries to do it. Let's go. It's a PR disaster, and not the first one that Unity has had. I gotta say, like, even before this, I feel like all of Unity's cred as, like, being the little guys, you know? Smaller than Unreal. You know, we're the guys that you go to if you want a good old-fashioned farm-to-table engine, you know? I feel like all of that PR, all of that, like, positioning is just thrown out the window now. Like, no, you have revealed yourself to be horrible assholes and just entirely interested in doing terrible, terrible policies. Even besides the fact that, you know, you're more expensive than the competition. You know, and you charge more just because, well, frankly, Unreal had the leeway to undercut you. And I understand that sucks, but, you know, doing a bunch of evil shit, that's not making your case better. That's just making that anyone who has chosen you, anyone who's, like, locked into you, is now severely regretting it, and honestly should be seriously considering moving off of Unity, which is gonna be, in a lot of cases, really absurdly hard, because, look, to go from Unity to Godot, depending on, like, how advanced your project is, it might be near impossible without rebuilding the entire thing, or it might be extremely hard even if it's in early states. Not to mention the fact that, you know, all the, like, sunk costs into, like, experience, you know? You know, like, people have experience with Unity and, you know, losing it. And people have a lot of experience with Unity, and switching to another engine is going to cost, like, startup time insofar as even just, like, warming up and finding their footing, you know? That's going to be a big hurdle for switching. And yet, you know, they are making it extremely desirable, because it's like, okay, you wanted to charge money in perpetuity on my game, even previous games that were already released. So that doesn't even mean, that means that even if I got the game out and it was good and the policies were fine at the time, you could come back and try to screw me. Okay, that's fucked, you know. And I'll say, like, you know, people are talking about Godot now as like, oh yeah, that's the one that's gonna be eating up the scraps, you know. The one that's gonna be, like, raking it in, following this whole deal. And I think that sounds about right. Also Unreal, naturally, as the industry leader, will continue to benefit from its competitors collapsing. How do you do this? I'm confused. I think we just have to die here. I think that this is... I think we have to, like, go down into the chasm and, like, sort of duck jump our way in to get enough momentum to slide into there on the landing. This is the last try. Let's do it. I will say, though, you know, if we see this later... You walk in the poison. Thank you for the tip, Alex. Walk in the poison. I'll make sense of that when I see it. I know that, like, converting away from Unity for, like, a mature project would take probably at minimum... I don't know. I don't know, like, specifics. I don't have any anecdotal evidence, but... From my understanding of, like, this sort of large conversion project, you know, moving away from one framework to another, I would probably estimate, like, at least a year, maybe even 2 years of just solely working on getting it from one engine to another. I mean, there are examples of similar type things, like, you know, Rivals of Aether went from... I forget what the conversion was, but it was basically... Shit! I forgot. It went from, like, Game Maker to some other version of Game Maker. Literally a later version of Game Maker that supported the Nintendo Switch. And that was a huge multi-year effort. You know, it took multiple years, but it was worth it because they got to put it out on Switch, and that's probably the best console for a Smash-type game. And, yeah, man, like, going from Unity to Godot is probably that, but worse, especially if you're talking 3D, if you're talking, like, really complex projects. Like, oh my god, it's fucked. But Unity is trying their damnedest to make it worth it, you know? What the fuck, right? Thank you for the level, Alex. I would love to give that another crack. I think I could do it on a second try. Geez, there's 6 levels in the queue. God damn, that's great. That's a great number of levels. Let me go ahead and hit next. And get the tries left down. Lord Bowser. Lord Bowser does not appear to be here. I believe Lord Bowser is off doing his own thing on his own channel, so I'll at Lord Bowser. But I think Lord Bowser has left us for now. Lord Bowser, you are up. Like I said, I know that Lord Bowser is on his own thing right now, but yeah, they could they, I'm not sure pronouns, could still confirm the fictional character Bowser. Very clear pronouns. I'm not sure about our Lord Bowser. I think he, him, question mark. Either way, let's play the level. We got sudden death. I got a card. Let me do another card. I can talk about the Microsoft leaks real fast. Seems like a lot of stuff has leaked out of the Activision case, and I sure just hope that they think it's worth it, you know? Probably worth it, you know? These leaks are just things like, yeah, man, we were working on Oblivion HD and, like, a Fallout 3 remake as well, but, you know, those are emails from, like, pre-pandemic, so they might have gotten canned, they might have gotten pushed forward. Whatever, man, like, don't count on there being a Dishonored 3, let's say. You know, those rumors. Also, probably, like, the Xbox rumors in particular. Probably can't count on those either, but, you they're about what you would guess, honestly. Like, yeah, it's another Xbox. This one's digital only. It's not a big bump in specs, but it is like a little bit more efficient and better in some subtle ways, such as like having a lot more storage. I'll say, ooh, these are cool clouds. I love these clouds. they're beautiful. Look at these clouds. God damn. And they last for the perfect length for a auto-scrolling level, it turns out. Damn, that's real fucking neat. It's really fucking neat, Lord Bowser. God damn. This is a very neat, lighthearted level, I'll say. I am damn impressed by the clouds. Damn. Anyway, let's see, what else leaked? There's a whole bunch of other stuff. I feel like the thing that the internet really, like, fastened on, like, sort of fixated on, was, the Microsoft wants to buy Nintendo thing, which, if you look at the thing, it's not really that much of a story. It's kind of a non-starter, honestly. It's basically one guy at Microsoft emailing another guy, like the main guy, and saying, like, hey, a random thought, we should buy Nintendo, which, man, yeah, fucking, that's the most obvious random thought in the world. That's like someone at Disney saying, hey, here's a thought, what if we bought DreamWorks? What if we bought Universal? What if we just bought Universal entirely? And someone else going like, yeah, well, that's a nice idea, but Universal's one of our biggest competitors, and they're not about to be bought for free. They're gonna be resistant to that, and, yeah, it's not gonna happen. I do agree, it would be nice to own everything and everyone, but some things are beyond our reach, honestly. And that's basically what they said, That's basically what chief guy Xbox was saying to the guy who said, like, hey, what if we bought Nintendo? I just had an idea. He said, like, yeah, we've went down that road before. It's not gonna happen.
Oh, no.
That's a funny threat there. I don't know we had room to react to it, but whatever. In fact, I did find, like, just looking around, just how, like, sheer curiosity. Shit. It did come out, like, a year ago that, like, in 2020, so 3 years ago. Now, fuck.
Oh, no.
Those bullet bills really do come at you. Thank you, Lord Bowser, for the level. Didn't finish it. Seems good, though. I really like a lot of what you have going. I'm looking forward to getting another crack at it down the line. You know how we gotta do if you're not here. You know how we gotta do. Ida, you are up. I don't know we can make exceptions just yet. Super World. Oh, I fucking hit the button without thinking. We'll go back to the thing. There we go. Okay. Glad you thought that was funny. Good, okay. Not a problem. Meant to do that. Thought it was a big joke. Big joke, hitting the button. Okay. So anyway, I wouldn't read too much into Microsoft wants to buy Nintendo. Insofar as I would read into, like, yeah, Apple wants to buy Nintendo. Like, everyone wants to buy Nintendo. If I had $1 billion, yeah, I would think about buying Nintendo. And I would probably be told, like, you don't need $1 billion, you need $1 trillion. And also, they won't sell. They're gonna say, like, yeah, $10 trillion, man, we're not giving it up. This is our thing. And it's lucrative, and it's working out, and we're gonna stay the course. Now is like, especially not the time. The Switch being at the height of its power. You gotta catch them at their Wii U, at their GameCube. And that's kind of where they were at the first time they tried this. They said, there was an interview at, like, 2020 where they mentioned, like, oh yeah, we had a meeting back in, like, the early aughts, back when the Xbox was brand new, and we discussed, like, hey, what if you guys got bought out by us? And Nintendo just laughed them out of the room politely, very politely just said, ha ha ha, no, that's not gonna happen. We're not gonna do that. Sega gonna swoop by and buy Nintendo? Yeah, that'd be a thing. I would bet on Sega being bought before I bet on Nintendo. Like, Sega, I could see that happening. The only problem is that they're owned by a bigger company that, you know, probably doesn't really have an interest in letting them go. Thank you for level. That was easy. That was easy compared to some of the previous ones that we've been playing tonight. And also a world record. Dang. Let's go ahead and hit complete and hit next. Your home country, Ida. That's cool. Japan is? That's cool. I like Japan. I'd like to go there again. I had a great time the first time a few years ago I took a 2-week vacation in Japan and you know, obviously, oh, Antarctica. Okay. I thought I was talking, you know, babe. Could have been ambiguous, I guess. He did say Antarctica time, my home country, but it was separated by another message. And I was thinking about the Nintendo stuff. As a result. This level was annoying to verify. Anyway, good luck. Let's go ahead and put 15 minutes on the clock. And let's go. Yeah, no, okay. It's of course it's cool. It's cool. It is cool. Small misunderstandings. What? Does that respawn? I don't think it does.
Oh no!
Okay, this time we're gonna do it. Long jump, long jump. Okay, that's smart. I honestly didn't think of that.
Oh,
Long jump after this. I was gonna just regular jump. And a run, I guess.
no. Oh,
This is a pretty tight jump, actually, as well. Oh wait, I didn't do the thing I usually do. Let me do the thing I usually do. Let me at well Trafe. I didn't actually confirm. Well, Trafe, you are up. And I'll stop the timer for a second and just do a card real quick, waiting for confirmation. Do you all have Windows 11? Something I've thought about recently, considering that apparently Windows 10 support is going to end in like 2 years, and my PC cannot be upgraded to Windows 11 for reasons unknown. And it's only like, I built it in like 2016. It was like top of the line at the time. You have Windows 10 as well. I don't think that many people have Windows 11. You know, the requirements thing is a big hurdle, for one, and for two, it seems like people aren't that positive on it in general. But, like, I am worried now, knowing that, like, okay, well, security stuff is going to be a problem come, like, the end of service for Windows 10. So, what the fuck then, you know? What's the deal there? And I just don't know what they're going to do about that. I don't know if they're going to, like, lower the requirements. Can they, please? Why not? Or if they're going to just be like, yeah, no, get a new PC, upgrade a little bit. I think in some cases it requires a new motherboard. Like, it requires some chip that, like, previous older motherboards don't have. So, that's a little bit worrisome, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. You know, I'll say, like, I've liked the last couple of versions of Windows. I liked 10, I liked 8. 7 was great. The only real misfire was, wait, was 7 great? There was Vista, which sucked. 7 was like top grade, right? Maybe 8 was just like the middle chapter. You know, sort of like a middle of the road type thing where you go like, it's not really an upgrade over 7, but whatever. You know, it's not It's not Vista, I guess. Am I mixing up the timeline? Which is the Windows that people didn't like? One second, let me Google. Well, again, Will Trafe, please confirm if you want the timer to do. Which Windows did people dislike? The most hated Windows versions. Okay, here we go. Windows ME. Right, well, some of those earlier versions probably just weren't very good. Vista, right, Vista was the bad one. XP was the good one. And, how about Windows 8? Was Windows 8 like a bad one for people? Windows 8, yeah, that was the one that had the touchscreen integration that people were, very negative on, but honestly, you could keep it out of the way and not bother with it, and it was mostly fine. To the point where when they put out 10, and it was like, you know, mostly Windows 8, but without any of the home screen nonsense, everyone was like, okay, this is great, this is good. Oh, right, it got rid of the start menu. I forgot about that. Did it really? Did it really, like, was it gone for the entire time? I thought they reintroduced it at some point. I guess, yeah. 7 was the good one, 10 was the good one. Maybe I guess it's in every other thing where one is going to be bad, one is going to be good. One is going to be bad, one is going to be good. Windows 11 maybe fits into this pattern? I don't know. Let's go ahead and do it. Do the level. I think that's enough stalling. I'm going to put Well Trafe into sudden death. And I guess we have 2 tries to do it.
Oh no!
Can we, like, get a running start here? Is there... I don't even think there's enough room here. No.
Oh
If we had more time, maybe we could do it. You know, like I will always say, just because we can't beat a level here doesn't mean that's down for the count, doesn't mean it's gone for good. Just means that we gotta move on in the moment. You can absolutely resubmit it. Absolutely, like, you know, tonight, another night, whatever. Whenever is good with you is good with me. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the next level up. Next level is from Fool with a Tool. Go ahead and confirm Fool with a Tool. I'm gonna at Fool with a Tool. You are up. Go ahead and confirm. I'm gonna pull another card while I am typing this in. What's the biggest franchise you've never touched? A question I was thinking about this last week, just randomly, you know, because mostly for the reason that I think I have a really good answer to it. I have maybe one of the best answers that there are. Final Fantasy. Never touched a single Final Fantasy product. I guess I could also say, like, Kingdom Hearts, stuff like that, but I feel like Final Fantasy... Final Fantasy is just so much of a monolith in the space that, you know, not having touched a single one is, I think, more remarkable than, like, a series that just has, like, a couple entries, you know, every couple years. Whereas, like, Final Fantasy has spin-offs, has, like, side games, has MMOs, has, like, all sorts of things, you know? I'll say also I've never touched a Street Fighter, I've never touched a Tekken, but those two are, you know, they're just fighting games, same as any other, and I have touched Mortal Kombat and some other ones of that sort. So it's not like I haven't played a fighting game before. I have totally played fighting games. It's just that Soul Calibur, I played those as well. I played a couple of the Soul Calibur games as well. I wouldn't necessarily put that as high. Also, any Legend of Zelda, the Fire Emblem, and any Legend of Zelda that isn't Wind Waker HD. Aja Ida. That's the one that I heard that sort of inspired this question. I heard from someone who was like, yeah, I've never touched that many Zeldas, and I was just like taken aback a little bit, you know? Like, that's the one where you assume that like nearly every gamer has played it, right? You would assume, if you were talking to someone, that they have played a Zelda before. At least like the classics, or I don't know, maybe that's like me as a 33-year-old dude sitting here going like, Well, you have to have played Ocarina, right? That was the biggest game of like 1998. Remember back in 1998 when people were big into that? You know, I didn't play it at the time. I played it a couple years later, but I got Majora's Mask when that came out, and that was the first game that I played without any jumping, and I was really into it. You've never played a Mega Man? Full version at least. Oh, so maybe you've played like Battle Network or something? Metroid? Metroid is a good one. I feel like, you know, you got like they're like slightly more obscure franchises where when you say it doesn't sound as big, right? Like, you know, a lot of people haven't played Splatoons, for instance, or like Pikmin, let's say. You know, that's pretty normal to not have played a Pikmin before. But there are some where I feel like the assumption is that you've done it. Definitely some. Hey, Mike's with a reel. Question I'm asking right now. What's the biggest franchise you've never touched? Mine, Final Fantasy. Mega Man Masterpieces in Smash 4. And the Mega Man 8-11 demo. That's pretty borderline. That's pretty borderline. You misspelled add there, Mike's with a reel. That's why it didn't go through. I am not seeing Fool with a Tool. Let's go ahead and get the sudden death going and get into this. Very good. Mike's with the reel. Mike's with the reel. What's the biggest franchise you've never touched? Is this a troll level? I think this is a troll level. Oh, maybe more of a puzzle level. There's probably a way to reset that then. So I'm pretty sure we need to get this. You never played COD? That is a pretty big one, and I'll say, like, you know, some of the franchises that are out there, I'm, like, hanging on by a thread, right? Like, I played one Resident Evil. Resident Evil Deadly Silence on the DS. It was not very good, and, never touched another one, ever. I've only played one Call of Duty, Call of Duty 2, didn't like it. That was before they got good, I guess, for what it's worth. But, like, you know, I was just never inclined to try another one, and the rest is history. I think we're supposed to kill this guy. Sports games? Oh yeah, EA sports games, that's like a category where I feel like that's different from anything else, because you're either interested in sports or you're not. So, like, fuck. I feel like it's very easy to say, like, oh, well, I've never played a Madden because I don't give a fuck about football, so there you go. I don't care that much about soccer, so I've never played a FIFA either. Pretty much any Sony or Xbox property. That also makes sense. I could see, like, Halo or, like, God of War being the biggest one in a lot of people's blind spots, just because, you know, if you don't own the platform, then, you know, what can you do? Halo would be a good one for a lot of people. I played Halo, though. I played, like, most Sony franchises. I guess most is not maybe the word. I played most of them that have had big entries since the PS3. I didn't have a PS2 or PS1, so, like, a lot of games from that era just never went back to them, like Ape Escape or Jak and Daxter. You know, games that haven't really had their time in the sun for a while. You played, you only use your PlayStation 4 for Fortnite, rhythm games, Rocket League, and Danganronpa. That's a good assortment of games, I'll say. Hey. I very seldomly use my PlayStation 5 as well. I have PlayStation 5. That's the one I have. Fool with a tool. Since you didn't speak up, can't convert you over to the timer. That was sudden death. Let's go ahead and see the next level. Again, you can always resubmit. I'll tell you that. Can the man confirm? Haha. I've said that for like 3 streams in a row. Can the man confirm? You are up. Can you please confirm? How many times am I gonna use that sort of like setup? saying, Can the Man, can you do a thing, you know? Probably a lot. Probably a lot if Can the Man continues to hang out. You never played PlayStation 5's games? Well, there's not that many of them that are exclusives, I'll say. And, you know, I said franchises, so you're good just playing, if you played it on another older console, older version. So I guess you've not played, what's the game with the robots? That Astro's Playground, Astro's Playroom? You haven't played that one then, which, yeah, that makes sense. That's fine. Can the Man, I'm gonna give you a minute. Let me do another card. Talk about what's on it. What's the longest you've spent at a place? You don't think you'll get a PS5? You've wanted to play a Little Big Planet game forever? I'll tell you, Little Big Planet, I was kind of disappointed by it when I first played it, and I probably continue to be disappointed by it, like, cosmically. I just found the physics to be entirely unpleasant, and just like a completely unappealing experience, personally speaking. So, not a fan. Wouldn't recommend it. I like Injustice, or Infamous, though. Infamous is a great series. I wish they made another one of those, maybe rather than more Ghost of Tsushima. I assume they're doing more Ghost of Tsushima, and not Infamous 4. I would love an Infamous 4, though, that had, like, more powers, you know. I loved playing as the last guy, who had, like, 4 sets of powers. That was really fucking cool, to be able to, like, switch back and forth between different power sets. I love that in a character. I love that in gameplay. Sackboy is cute. That's true. Longest you've stayed at a place, I will say, before... Hang on, let's give Can the Man a minute more, actually, before we start up. I'll give Can the Man a minute more. Can the Man, speak up now. Right, because we're still waiting on Can the Man. I'll put up the sudden death, but Can the Man, please do speak up, and then we'll do you full time, you know? Before the last job I went to, I never really, like, spent that much time in a single, like, institution, right? Like, I moved a bunch during, like, I moved a couple times during, like, elementary school, once or twice, I guess. Moved between different high schools, and college was about the longest that I spent at a single place, you know, like 4 years. And, going into the workforce, it was like, that was a thought that I had, like, okay, well, is this gonna be the longest I spend at a single place? And sure enough, it was, of 10 years, and, in retrospect, that is wild, that, like, you know, after spending so much time, like, just, like, barely visiting an institution for a while, just spending so long in a single company, it's just, weird to look back on, you know. I don't know if I'll be spending, like, half as much time at each individual company going forward, you know. Maybe if it was, like, a really, really good fit, but I really probably should, you know, should be always looking for that new thing, you know, at a certain point. Your own house? That's not quite what I meant, but I gotcha. I was always, like, constantly moving on from places, and constantly, like, you know, high school, for instance, there was, in the high school system that I was in, they had, like, a different junior high school and a different, like, senior high school. So, I kind of went between, like, 3 different high schools, in the span of 4 years. So, like, going into college, that was like, oh shit, this is the longest time I spent at a single place in, like, forever. Or ever, really. Oh, that was wrong. And now I got a new record that, to my mind, seems like unimpeachable, unbeatable. You know, 10 years, that's a big round number. Don't necessarily see that happening again, you know? Which, hey, you know, that's good. Good to be constantly doing new things. you know, interesting type stuff. This is really cool. Can the man. And fairly intuitive. Haha, perfect. Did it in 2. Did it in 2. Whew. That was very cool, Can the man. Hell yeah. GG. Jeeg, as Ida puts it. Go ahead and hit complete. And hit next. Let me get the tries left down. I'll say for the lightning round, I've been doing 8 o'clock recently for the lightning round in recent streams, but maybe more like, let's say 7:45. So 8 minutes from now, we'll start the lightning round. That sounds good to me. Squink is up. Squink just threw Pikmin at my face. Squink is here. I'm gonna pop another card while I do it. Do y'all like having nice things? Something I've been thinking about and sort of like trying to frame in a way that's like fun to talk about. I like having nice things, you know? I'm just gonna come right out and say it, you know? Recently, I got a new webcam. I got a second webcam like this that does the fun tracing stuff, you know, and fun, a whole bunch of fun features. Like, look at this shit. It can like switch between various presets. Like, hey, okay, what is that? Oh, that's like the other seat of my couch. But also, I can show you my amiibos. It's like a pivoting camera. It like pivots on a swivel. Anyway, I bought another one, but for my PC area, so that I would have the same quality of camera and the PC area as well. I've shown the amiibos before. I've shown them before. It's a preset location, position of that camera. And that might be a weird thing to do right before leaving a job or, you know, separating from a company. Whatever metaphor you want to use. Let me get this up. But, on the other hand, I do stand by what I said last week. Last Thursday, I was totally kind of talking about that and going like, well, you know, look, things might change in the future, but here's the thing. A fancy webcam, I'm gonna look good if ever I was to have an opportunity, a new thing that involved, like, you know, being on a webcam for work stuff. And I do anticipate, you know, maybe being on a webcam for work stuff. And I think that that'll look nicer and come off better. I think it'll be cool to have a really nice camera and look really nice. Let go of jump. Oh shit. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for the tip, Squink. I really wasn't getting it. I think it's nice to have a nice camera, and, you know, I think I would have eventually bought it anyhow. Maybe not quite so suddenly. Maybe, like, I would have waited a little bit if had I known, like, 100% that, you know, that it was gonna be time for that. But, you know, I'm happy with it, and I think it's gonna be a boon in upcoming, career stuff, you know? And also, it's good for the channel, and when we do, like, PC-based streams like the StarCraft ones in the future, they're gonna look nice. They're gonna look nice, they're gonna look good. I guess the only thing I would, like, buy at this point, as far as additional hardware, like, off the top of my head, would be, like, maybe a second stream deck, which is the thing that lets me do hotkey stuff from the couch. I would just like a second one so I could have one at my PC, so whenever I move over there, I don't have to, like, lean back and hit the stream deck on my, on the end table of my couch. I can just, you know... do hotkey stuff over there just as easily. But that's a bit pricey. I would you know what, I'd probably get it if I got, like, a really... You know, once I had a new job, I'll look at that and go, like, I'll probably pick it up. You know, that sounds like a good thing. I guess also if, like, you know, enough subscriber type stuff came in to, like, you know, acquire a second thing, that would be an investment in the channel that I could make, you know? That'd be based on, you know, the support from the folks at home, which I'll say, you know, hey, I've gotten a couple of payouts over the last 2 years, you know, which has been nice every time, and I've appreciated the support. I will say, though, as far as, like, equipment costs go, I am overall in the red, but it's fine. I like having nice things, you know? I like for my capture card to be the best that you can get. I like to have like a preview monitor, so I'm not like constantly having to crane my head over to look at what it's looking like on stream right now, which I had to do until I got the preview monitor and got that all set up. You know, I like looking good and I like sounding good, so the camera and the microphones, they go without saying. I like having nice things, and, you know, there are some categories where I don't give a shit, right? Like, honestly, I'm not that particular about cars, right? Like, for me, a car just has to go and be, like, relatively nice, you know? I don't necessarily demand, like, the most expensive, most feature-rich car on the market, you know? I just want something to drive, you know? Not particular as to that. But the things I am particular on, like, and if I see something that's, like, especially brilliant, inventive, etc., part of me just goes like, oh, I gotta have that. Oh, I've now found the thing that I need in my life. Guess I have to hold off on that a little bit in general until such time as things are figured out. You know, I'll manage. He made the dying noise that time. That was weird. Card. Follow up on the narrow remote thing. Well, let me show you this. I don't know if I followed up on this before. I might have done. But I mentioned on an earlier stream I got this thing that I put the remotes in. Like, I can slide in the remotes such as this, and it'll be available, like, in a good central location. And also I can reach over from the back and get it if I need to. Pretty damn handy. It turns out the one I first got was a little too wide. Didn't really fit, like, this whole middle part of my love seat couch. So I ended up getting a narrower one, and I'm quite happy with it. Doesn't it look quite nice? Doesn't it look quite nice? I'm going to, preset. Quite happy with it. It's quite handy for, like, leaving the remote in a place that I expect versus just having it be, like, you know, sort of all over the place. I used to have two remotes because with my previous TV. I used to have one that I would keep at, like, on the couch, and one I would keep more or less in the PC area, you know, by my desk. And since I got this fancy 4K TV like a year or two ago, like a year, it's been, I don't think I was streaming at the time I got the piece that got the OLED, the 4K TV. I feel like I would have talked about it, and I don't remember ever talking about my 4K TV, or, like, you know, oh, you know, I'm thinking about getting a 4K TV. That was pre-streaming, so it must have been like 3 years ago. Must have been like 3 years ago that I got the 4K TV. Anyway, Anyway, with that one, I only have the one remote, so I sort of have to, like, move it around. And, you know, that's fine. That's fun. That's cool. And it's not really a problem. It's just a little inconvenience, and having a central place for it is pretty good. Pretty handy. You can see I don't always, like, I haven't quite got the habit down of always putting it there. You can tell that, like, right, it was on the end table again, despite me saying that that's not where it goes now. I forgot about it. I forgot to move it. You know, hey, I'll get used to it, I'm sure. Ooh. Half our time is about up, and it is looking like I believe the lightning round will be up next. Yes, it will be. The lightning round will start after this level. The lightning round is a whole thing. After which the pace that we're playing levels will increase dramatically, I'll say. Nope, that was wrong. I span jump on him. I should have just regular jumped on him. I knew it as soon as I hit the button. Lightning round in after this level. So, you know, next 7 minutes or so. Or whenever we finish. Hey. How about another card? I got more cards. Planning on walking more. Now that I'm between things, you know, now I have more time to, like, spend on things that sort of fell by the wayside. You know, working every day and streaming every night. Or not every night, but a lot of nights. But one thing I really need to get into the habit back of is walking regularly. To that end, I did take a walk today. Not a super long walk, just a mile-long walk on a nearby trail that's, you know, not great, but is at the very least nearby enough where it's not a big deal to go to. And also, you know, I didn't have to bring that much water. That said, it's still fucking hot out when you're in Texas. I'm kind of miffed at that, like, Jesus Christ, it's 90 degrees out? What the hell, it's like late September. I want some nice fucking 70-degree weather. God damn it. It was kind of too hot the most of the summer, I'll say. But also, I was just really... I don't know if I could have found the time, you know. And also did all the other stuff I like to do. But definitely in this time, I want to get back into that habit. And, you know, do a whole bunch of walking and getting in at least 3 good walks a week. That's probably like bare minimum, actually. Like, I got time. I could do daily walks. You know, I could do like a morning walk even. Want to like tend towards a morning walk, you know, something that really like also helps with like the sleep schedule thing. You know, I feel like part of the problem with a sleep schedule, part of my problem with like my sleep schedule, I reckon, is that I spend a lot of time indoors. I don't see the sun. And the sun is a big regulator, whatever, of circadian rhythms, right? Like, the more you see the sun, the more your body knows, like, it's daytime, you know? And the more walks I take, the more my body has clues to figure out, like, okay, it's daytime right now. Now is the time to be awake. Yes, that's right. Time to be asleep, you know, around 2 a.m. to 10 a.m., you know? Let's say, just, like, maybe 2 to 9, something like that. Hell, I could get 8 hours of sleep right now. Nothing's stopping me from doing so. Probably will get more like 6 or 7 still, consistently. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. And like, you know, still only so many hours in the day. Even if I'm like, you know, having time now to do stuff in addition to, you know, job search stuff. You know, there's still only so many hours. I still don't necessarily want to spend it like, just, you know, trying to sleep or just sleeping, you know? I don't know, maybe I should value sleep more. Certainly, I'll say I've been getting headaches a lot recently just from, like, you know, pushing through in some cases and just, like, trying to be like, okay, you know, I'm tired, but it's not time yet for sleep. I've been getting cases where I'm just, like, tired in the afternoon right now. If I'd, like, try to, like, wake up at a normal time, I'll need some sort of nap, like, in the middle of it to, you know, get the energy to go through the rest of the night, you know? That said, like, once it's deep night, then I have trouble sleeping, so it's all fucked up. It's all fucked up. I want to at least stay up till midnight, body, but after that, go ahead and start getting tired, you know? After midnight, I just don't feel like doing anything. I feel like after midnight, even if your, like, sleep schedule is weird, I feel weird about starting anything productive, you know? I always feel like I need to be in, like, okay, we're shutting things down mode. We're shutting things down, we're not starting anything new right now. Unless it's like an episode of an anime, in which case it's 20 minutes and I know when it's gonna end. And, you know, I can't, like, start something less predictable at late night. You know, that's my feeling at least. But anyway, one walk gotten in this week. Not great, but like it's a start, and I'll probably try to do some longer ones. You know, in the coming days, in the coming weeks. I guess it's still fucking hot, so I will do the thing where I take 2 water bottles, you know, in order to get in like a 3-mile walk or something. I'm gonna need more water than I can carry in a single thing, you know. And the paths near me, they're pretty good. They're good paths, but a lot of them don't have any water available. No water fountains or refill stations or anything, so I am just going to be entirely reliant on the water that I bring on my person, you know? Damn it, that was looking pretty good, too. Another card. Planning on traveling some. That's the other reason why I want to, like, get back in the habit, is that, you know, is that, like, traveling typically requires a lot of walking around, and getting into the habit of it means that I'll be, like, ready to go and ready to go the distance once it is called upon me to, like, walk, around, like, theme parks or other countries or whatever, wherever I want to go. I'll say right now, obviously I'm between things. I'm not necessarily, like, jumping to do, like, anything really big right now. Though, I am planning a little bit of a Orlando trip next couple of weeks. Just, like, over a long weekend, basically. Hang out with my cousin. She lives in, like, you know, she lives in, like, the Orlando area, so, you know, free trip. Hey, Lord Bowser. I wasn't able to get through it, but, it seemed very cool. Seemed very cool. Go ahead and maybe resubmit it, if you please. We died on the last part. I really loved your clouds. Really loved your funny cloud jumpy platforms. They didn't work so much in the vertical section, you know, they sort of expired before. They sort of expired too soon, but it's cool. Really cool theme. Timer's up. Go ahead and get the timer down. And put up the last tries. Damn it. We got 4 tries left. This is a hard level. Might not be able to do it. Gonna make that joint in the vertical horizontal seam for the second half. You gotta make that joint? What? Huh? You mean you're gonna redo the second half, or what's up? Not quite following. Okay, cool. Okay, that seems fine. The second half is what we got, like, really hung up on. You can see, like, I died twice really quickly. Hello, Ruby Angel, how's it going? Happy Friday to you as well. I'll say I'm between jobs right now, so, as of, like, Wednesday, so Friday doesn't mean that much to me anymore, except in so far as, like, that's when interviews happen, you know, on weekdays. So, still have some adherence to the work week, but not as much anymore. Still, I do think that the spirit is alive in these Friday streams, though. And I do intend on keeping the spirit and keeping to the schedule, if you're wondering. That's why there's a sub-goal for this stream. Hey, you can make me play Mario Party 4. Y'all collectively could. It would take a lot of subs, I would say, at this point. But hey, you know, I'd appreciate it. Now seems like a good time for such things, you know, between opportunities, whatever, between jobs. Good attempts, thank you, Swink. Let's go ahead and hit next, and I'll talk more about trips and stuff as we do so. Next up will be Ida. Very good. Ah, you're hitting me with stuff. Ida, you where you at? Ida says Super World. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna start the lightning round. Let's go ahead and do it. Well, bam. Yo, it is the lightning round. During the lightning round, we only have 5 tries to beat each level that comes our way. 5 tries, refreshing at checkpoints, 7 for subs, and also for the first person of the night, which is Ida in this case. Get away from me! So many, too many. They're overlapping. Oh God! Too many. Okay. Maybe there should be a cooldown on those. Maybe. Who can say? The bonus heads. They are represented by characters such as Bowser. Or like, you know, we have a whole bunch of them. You know, so ones that are Mario characters, ones that aren't Mario characters. There's a whole big variety. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna hide them from me so I can't see. And I'm gonna hit the button. Let's say, now. You got the DKC3 heads. Wow, that's a lucky one. Those are, like I said, I don't think I said it, but the non-Mario ones have 1 head, 1 copy for every 5 that the Mario ones have, so there's like a roughly 1/5 chance, I guess. Though, I guess it would depend on the ratio of non-Mario heads to Mario heads. There's 5 copies of each Mario head and just 1 copy of each non-Mario head, basically. Do the math if you knew how many heads there were and of each type, you could do the math, but like a fifth. Rarer drop. Point is. Alright, let's do it. I will also, by the way, hey, continue talking about what I was talking about. Traveling. I'll continue talking about that right here. Oh, this might be pretty easy. I remember this level. The last level was really easy. I was worried it was the other one from, like, the first Super World level that we did, but that was another one of y'all, wasn't it? Let's do it. Anyway, as far as travel goes, I am planning a little bit of a fun trip type thing. You know, going to Orlando over, like, a weekend in a couple weeks. Spending, like, you know, a long weekend. Spending, like, a couple days there. Doing, like, a bunch of the Disney parks. I'd like to do SeaWorld, and I'd like to do that level was a break? Ah, okay. This one's gonna be hard. I'd like to do the Disney parks. I'd like to do SeaWorld, which I've never been to, and Universal. I love Universal. My cousin has, like, season passes to, like, Disney because she's, like, from the area. But I'm not sure if we can, if like, her season passes apply for, like, that particular weekend that we're planning. We'll figure out what's going on with that and figure out a plan as far as, like, which parks we want to hit up and have a good time at. Hey, there we go. I am very curious about, you know, I haven't been to the Disney park since, like, 15 years ago, and I wasn't really a theme park person at that time. Shit!
Oh no!
I wasn't really a theme park person at that time, so I don't think I really appreciated the Disney parks at that time, and I'll say, like, now I'm really just interested in, like, going back there and checking out, like, you know, maybe, like, approaching, like, Animal Kingdom with more interest, you know, and like, actually enjoying the Savannah part, which I don't think I even realized at the time there was, like, a Savannah aspect to that park. Wild animals, I think that was just entirely lost on me as a teenager at the time, you know. I last went on a trip with family. That was, like, middle of high school. Maybe, like, early high school, middle school, late middle school, somewhere in there. Who remembers exactly? But, yeah, I'm very interested in that. I'm very interested in the Star Wars area, which, of course, was long after the last time I was there. Very interested in, I'm very interested in Epcot's new roller coaster, and also, hey, you know, from my understanding, is like Epcot is like the one place where you can find like good theme park food. You know, I guess there are some places in City Walk that are pretty good. I'll say, like, or like Mythos is really good. I like Confisco's at Universal. Confisco's is pretty good. But like, I imagine like if we're doing Disney days, a lot of those will be the fuck. A lot of those will be the will be Epcot, you know, for dinner. Or we could go and do some like Halloween Horror Nights over at Universal. Probably do like, how does that work? Can we get like a multi-day pass to Halloween Horror Nights and like do it like multiple nights and then do like Universal proper on like how does that work? Can you do Halloween Horror Nights in a single night? I watch a lot of Universal YouTubers, and they talk a lot about Halloween Horror Nights, but I've never been in the position to actually go, so I've never actually listened to like practical advice regarding Halloween Horror Nights. Can you do it in like one night, or do you want 2 nights, or is it a thing where like after you're done with Disney, just hop over to Universal and do like do the haunted houses or whatever and have a good time? I'm not sure. Should be fun. Thank you for the level, Ida. We'll have another crack at it, assuming you're going to resubmit it. I hope to do better next time. That you know, hey. Let's go ahead and see the next one. Next one was Mike's with a Reel. Mike's with a Reel was just chatting very recently, so I think is good. I will say the other thing regarding travel, which is that in my heart of hearts right now, part of me is just saying like, man, travel. I want to go to a certain place. And, you know, between jobs is not the best time to go. But, say we do lock something down. Say I do lock something down. That is the perfect time to say, like, okay, my start date will be 3 weeks from now. And then say, like, okay, I'm going to Japan. Like, I'm going to spend two weeks there again before I have to do, like, PTO in order to manage that. And just have a damn good time while knowing, like, that, like, okay, this trip is going to be fine because I got a new opportunity already lined up, you know? Once I get somewhere, then I would love to just go to Japan before starting the job. I think that'd be lovely. I guess it would have to be relatively impromptu, which I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe I should check with my my brother-in-law who works at an airline. Like, can I get like good rates, like relatively impromptu, to like go to Japan? My understanding is the rates kind of go down over time. Like the closer you get to it, the closer you get to locking in, it'll like jump down from like 2,000 round trip to like 1,000 round trip, you know, and maybe even lower if you like really risk it, you know, really risk something like impromptu. But I probably should ask about that, how that would go, etc. But that is something I am thinking, like, I would love to do a Japan trip right before starting the new job. Whatever that new job will be, whenever I lock it down, at time unknown. I guess I would have to think about when it is, though. Like, if it's ends up being, like, right before New Year's, like, probably want to do, like, from what I hear, you don't want to do tourism, like, during the New Year's season. Like, a lot of stuff is closed down anyway during that season, even if it's nice to, like, you know, enjoy New Year's in Japan or whatever. Like, between that, the country's gonna be asleep, so you're not gonna be able to, like, go places or do things that much. And I guess I was lucky because the first time I went from December 7th to the 22nd roundabout. So, you know, I missed the dead period by going home before Christmas, which was probably a great call. Well, also because, you know, you want to spend Christmas at home, obviously. That'd be fine. I think a November trip would also be lovely if that's the way it shook out. You know, I guess starting like after Thanksgiving or something. That'd be good. I think that'd be lovely if that ended up the way it went. If it ended up being later than that, I will say my lease is up in like December, so I am not sure how that's gonna work out. You know, once I get there. Like, do I renew? Do I pay month to month for a while? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And also, I don't know if they, like, would require, like, oh, hey, you're between things? Well, that's not good. You need a job to sign a new lease, so I can't move, so until such time as I get a new gig. So, that's fun. Anyway, my thought is right now, as soon as I figure something out, I would love to do a Japan trip. I really would be very scared to do it before, you know, such things were arranged. But in my heart of hearts, I am thinking like Japan. Plan, Japan. Just, and I'll say also, like, I've been there, so I kind of have, like, the basics of my itinerary already in my mind. You know, just, yeah, basically I can do what I did last time, except add a couple of locations. And I already have pretty much the locations I would add in mind. Oh, this is really cool. I love what you did here. I love how these guys are just, like, going around the corner. That works surprisingly well. Jeez. Nice work there. Nice little arrangement of blocks and shit, you know? What am I doing wrong? That's some cheese right there. Good cheese, though, I hope. This is interesting. That's sort of like my, one of my levels. My Babam Boonies kind of has a similar gimmick with, Babams exploding the path you're walking on. That's cool. I like it. Anyway, those are a lot of the thoughts that are going through my head in this, like, middle period. I'm excited about a lot of things. I'm pretty confident that this is going to turn out to be, you know, going from, I'm pretty confident that, like, you know, a new company is going to be, like, really, really good for me in a lot of ways. Wherever I end up, I'm confident that it's going to be a great change, you know? Etc., etc. And, I'm excited. I'm, you know, not just because, like, yo, I could go some places, you know, with relative ease beyond just, you know, arranging, like, job stuff around it, you know. I did hear, I'm not sure how it works, like, I have heard some people, like, who leave a job and just, you know, take a break for like a month or two. And I think that sounds really cool. I've already started entertaining offers, so I can't really do that. You know, I already got, like, a couple of companies on the line for, like, you know, further interviews and stuff, so it's already too late for me to, like, stop everything, you know what I mean? That ship has sailed, but that is a cool thing to do if you're, like, you know, really just looking for a break between things. And, you know, I'm definitely going to try to pick my moments and, like, do some stuff and have some fun, you know, in this interim. But I guess it wasn't cheese. I guess that's just genuinely the way to get through. Anyway, travel. Those are the destinations I'm thinking of. The one that I am actively planning, first off, that's a little bit cheaper, considering that I won't be, like, have to deal with hotels or other such surcharges, you know? It'll be relatively cheap to crash with a cousin, you know? And the other one being a more expensive thing that I can do once I have something, like, locked down. And I'm honestly really excited by both of these plans. I'm gonna have... It's gonna be a great year for me and theme park visits, I guess. Oh, let me say, places I would go in Japan that are new to, this trip. This trip that I want to do. That was a waste. Let me tell you places I would want to go that were brand new. First off, I would want to, like, do revisits to the places that I went previously, pretty much. You know, Osaka, Tokyo, Kyoto. Those three are just, like, solid, you know, can't go wrong location to tour in Japan, you know? Can't go wrong with any of those locations, you know? Additionally, I would like to throw on 2 additional locations. like sort of in between them. One, Hakone, which is sort of like a hot springs town, very widely known for having some of the best like resort type hot springs business. I've only been to a couple hot springs last time I was there, but I really enjoyed the second one I went to so much that I would like to spend a whole lot more time this time at hot springs type properties. Properties? Is that the right word for it? Hot springs type places. I want to spend more time at them, so I think Hakone would be, you know, a couple of days there, maybe 1 or 2. You know, in the middle of going to, like, the more western parts of Japan, you know, like Kyoto, Osaka, those places. Also in the middle, I want to throw in, like, some like, places closer to, Mount Fuji. Not specifically Mount Fuji, I think. I'm not really like, look, I'm good on a walk, I guess, but I'm not really the mountain climbing type, I don't think. First off, like, we don't have mountains here, so I don't really have anything to practice on as far as, like, similar experiences go, similar, like, exertion level goes. Second off, you know, if there was, like, a trolley I could take to the top of Mount Fuji, I would take it, but I cannot walk there. I don't think. I will probably go back to Mount Takao, which I went to last time, and go up that entire mountain and get to the peak this time. I will say I will take a trolley lift, like, up most of the way, but walking to the top from there, something I wasn't able to do last time because I was with some folks that wanted to turn back, you know, so, you know, was out of my hands. But this time I would love to get to the top of Mount Takao. And also I'd spend time in Mount Fuji, you know, the kinds of places what were in laid-back camp, you know, just very nice places, picturesque places. I will also go to Fuji-Q Highlands in that area, which is a very it's like a very well-known theme park in Japan that's like, people know it, you know? You know, like an Anchorman, how he says, like, people know me. People know Fuji-Q Highlands. It is a very popular park. I'll also say just like, you know, other theme parks I'd like to go to in Japan because, you know, now I'm a theme park person. That's absolutely on my agenda. Thank you for level, Mike's with a reel. Let me hit the next one. That's absolutely now on my agenda. And other than that, I want to go to Earthsea, which people have told me is amazing. That's like a Disney park that's like phenomenal. And I want to go to Universal Studios Japan, which, yeah, okay, yeah, Universal Studios, but in Japan. Yeah, I want to check that out. They have a couple of rides there that are all unique. Spend a day at each of those parks and, you know, try to allocate that into a 2-week schedule. I don't know, man. I guess, like, cut out some of the shrine visits, I guess. Or some of the days where it's just like, okay, here's what we're doing. And I'll say, like, some of the days in Osaka last time, I had trouble filling them up with, like, things to do. I went to an aquarium one of those days, and a JoJo exhibit that closed, that was just, like, in the area at the time. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Lord Bowser says, yay, Lord Bowser is here. Fantastic. I went to, like, a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure exhibit on one of those days, and, you know, that's the best I could do. That said, Osaka is so cool, I'm definitely going back there and hanging out in, like, the Sotenbori area. Is it Dotonbori or Sotenbori? I'm not sure which one is fictional, which one is real. One of those is the name in Yakuza 0 of the Osaka area of that game that is based on the real one. I am not sure. 100%. But yeah, that's definitely. What was I saying? That's definitely places I want to go. And I think this time, you know, I'll stay in Hakone. I'll stay in a hotel in like the Mount Fuji area and have that be like a middle thing. For Kyoto and Osaka, I think I'll stay in Osaka for like 3 days and do like a Kyoto day. I guess I would have to do a Kyoto day. 1 or 2 Kyoto days. Okay, maybe 4 days for Osaka. 1 or 2 Kyoto days where I, like, take the train to Kyoto. It only takes, like, 30 minutes to get from Osaka to Kyoto, so you don't really need a hotel switch in there, honestly. Though I won't deny that it helped last time, being, like, a little closer to the action in Kyoto. I would think about it. But I would probably choose, like, stay in Osaka, go to Kyoto. As, like, the main thing to do in Osaka is to go to Kyoto, you know? Definitely have an Osaka day, a Universal Studios day. I'm gonna have to figure out, like, how many days actually I need. How exactly I would schedule it out, space it out. I will say, of course, Tokyo is so huge. You can spend, like, a whole vacation in Tokyo and be, like, perfectly good. Here's the difficult part, Lord Bowser. These bullet bills, they just keep getting me. And coming out, like, virtually out of nowhere. It seems like. Maybe I'm jumping too soon. Maybe I should be, like, hanging back. But definitely being blindsided a good deal here. It probably will help now that I have this power-up, actually. I will say. Like, wait, what about this? This is where the 2 bullet bills are coming from above, right? Like, what are you supposed to do here? Oh, wait, there's only 1 of them. Was there only 1 of them before? I thought there were 2 of them. Maybe I just needed to, like, really maneuver a whole lot better. It's a tight spot to get through. I'm gonna have to do some thinking about, like, how exactly that'll work out. How exactly much time I would want to request, like, as far as, like, pushing the start date out of any such opportunity in order to, like, facilitate such a Japan trip. I will say, if not, like, following the end of unemployment, or, like, at the end of unemployment, right? I would do the Japan trip, like, next year. I would do it, like, sometime next year, and, like, October-y, and I would think I would have a great time. But now seems like a great opportunity to do it without using PTO or, you know, once something's nailed down, to do it without using PTO or any of that business once I have a new thing. You know, just by pushing the start date out a bit. Thank you for the level. Yeah, you see the point? Gotcha. And some of these things are hard to manage. By the way, Lord Bowser, you should check out the latest version of my level. It's been revised, and, you know, let me know if it's, if it all comes a little more natural now, and, hoping that there are more options now, the way that it's built. N4G. Nag. Weird thing to be in the code, but it's not offensive. So it's fine. How about another card? A 7 Ghost House demo as well? See you later, Lord Bowser. I'll, you know, it'll be sudden death. You know how it goes. Maybe should try cooking more often. Robbie Angel is here, by the way. This looks cool. Super Mario Brothers 3 levels. Sky Left Light Lands. Dedicated to some people. Maybe I should try cooking more. That's something I've thought about insofar as, like, you know, with additional time, I could try cooking for myself more, making more things than just, you know, simple type things. I guess I could try a meal service like HelloFresh, which I've never tried before. I don't know. I like a simple. I've made in the past. Hey, this is from Mario Brothers 3. I recognize this level. Cool. I've made food in the past, like, you know, I've made a lot of spaghetti. Spaghetti is the thing I've made most of. I get it. So you've got 3 levels in here, then, basically. Spaghetti is the thing I've made most recently. Just, like, a whole heaping pile of spaghetti, plus, like, you know, spaghetti sauce, covered in Parmesan, and, like, a couple sausages, a couple of Italian sausages. And by God, that is delicious. As I say that, I am feeling a craving for it, you know? I fucking love that shit, but maybe I should try making additional things, you know? Maybe I should get back in the habit of making a main meat and then just getting some sides like I used to do. Used to do a lot of that, you know, like get a bunch of chicken legs, like some pork chops, shake them, bake them, cook them up, and then have them throughout the week with like sides from like a you know, like a frozen bag, you know what I mean? Like frozen vegetables or something. And that was pretty good. That was a pretty good thing for me, but eventually I sort of fell out of the habit and just, you know, stopped making things other than spaghetti. Meatloaf and like I also made meatloaf and like a tuna casserole. Those are the other two things I made a bunch back in the day, back when I was trying to get good at it. It used to be my Sunday activity. I would do like cooking on Sunday, and then through the rest of the week I would eat the leftovers. As well as like a couple of just like Stouffer's type things to supplement, you know. It'd be nice to get back into the habit of cooking, I guess. I don't know though. I kind of like just spaghetti. I think that's the thing I realize, is that I like spaghetti most of all, and everything else is like it's hard. It doesn't really compare so much to spaghetti, you know. What would I cook? Maybe I'd try some HelloFresh stuff. I made ribs in the past, actually, but I had a slow cooker then. That slow cooker broke in a move, so I don't have that slow cooker anymore. It was like a not an Instapot. What's it called? A crock pot. It was a crock pot, but it was like really wide, so perfect for ribs. And those are really good. I don't know if they were like really better than like just regular cooking ribs in an oven, but they were really good for what it's worth. It's just that, you know, it was a lot of work and took a lot of time. Probably wouldn't get another crock pot. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't mind like messing around with other like cooking technologies. I tried sous videing stuff a while ago. I tried some sous vide type things, and that never worked out for me. I never got the knack of sous vide, you know. The warm bath that I immerse the food in never seemed to work all that well for me. I don't know if I just like didn't vacuum seal the meat properly, or like if I just needed to wait for it to get up to a certain temperature, but it just never worked out, sadly. Hello, Mergen, how's it going? Well, shit!
Oh no!
God damn it. That was a bad time for a pregnant pause. It's going alright insofar as Mario Maker goes. I will say I've been talking about it a bit throughout the stream. I am between jobs for the first time in 10 years, which is on some levels exciting, on some levels really nervous making. But I'd say it's going all well. I'm happy. I feel like refreshed in a way that I haven't felt in 10 years, I guess, you know? But also, oh boy, you know? You know. You understand the feelings I'm feeling. You're great? Lovely. I love to hear that. I understand how you feel. Yeah. I'll say I'm pretty sure, I'm really confident that it's gonna be a good thing once I find a new place, right? I'm gonna be like much more happy, you know. I'm gonna be like in a good place regarding like my life and stuff goes, you know. I'm definitely like looking at things and going like, man, it's gonna be a hell of a good change. Whoever like I can get the foot in the door for, you know. Things are looking good out there to me.
Oh no!
God damn, I'm just, we gotta remember, door, move. That's what we need to do. Anyway, finish the thought on food. Definitely want to cook a little more. Maybe I should try HelloFresh. I don't know if like a subscription service is something I really need to be getting into. I could try spinning. I feel like spinning is not going to be high enough. I feel like spinning is not going to get us high enough to land on top of the guy.
Oh no!
Well, that was the best we did. Yeah. Womp hitboxes are pretty wonky. Thank you for level. I'm gonna hit next. Lord Bowser is up next. We know Lord Bowser's not here, so we're gonna do his in sudden death. And, you know, obviously everyone, hey, feel free to keep submitting. Submit levels until the end here. We will do them. We will play them as per usual. Let me punch in this code. I guess I could pop like a HelloFresh trial and like cook a couple of sample meals, I guess. There are certain streamers I know who have certain sponsorships right now, and I guess I would be doing right by them if I took advantage of that while I have time. I could get sponsored. Aha, yeah. Look, the sponsorships on this level are always things like, this could pay any amount of money or $0 if no one were to take you up on it, okay? And look, I'm not gonna do advertising for free. Except insofar as I will talk about the games that I like, the movies that I like, the anime that I like, and anything else that I like. Okay, that I will do for free. But like, as far as like, and I guess if I did get HelloFresh, I do like to talk about the things I am trying. I would probably talk about HelloFresh. But I would give an honest opinion on it, and my honest guess is, the reality will be I will not have time. Or I won't want to spend the time, you know? Or that it won't be better than just like, you know, leftovers from my folks, or just like, you know, stuff such as a good old-fashioned Stouffer's. Stouffer's is pretty decent. You can live off Stouffer's. And Marie calendars and all that, if you so pleased. This is a fun little ghost house level, not really in the puzzly vein, but like, I like the theming a lot. It's cool. I would not expect any sponsors if you were a Twitch streamer. I would consider it if I liked the product, and also it was for money. If it was for money, like, yes, okay, maybe. I think it'll, if ever, I guess those are there's two like things as a streamer that I think it would be really fun and cool if I ever got. And like, it would feel really cool if someone were to sponsor me to the point where like, oh, we're not asking for results. We're just asking for like, you know, to be on. I guess I would say that they should probably specify they want to be on the Mario Maker stream. That's the stream to be on the Friday stream specifically. But, you know, I think that'd be cool if they were like that. VPNs. Speaking of VPNs, I will definitely get a VPN. I will say I will definitely get a VPN when I go to Japan. Definitely want to do that. Last time I didn't, and I just couldn't watch my anime for like a month or for like 2 weeks, which seems ridiculous when you're in Japan. You might say like, aren't they on Netflix? And I will say they are, but they don't have subtitles in English, so you're fucked. You can't do it. I need to get a VPN next time. I am wondering, like, I know that, here's the two I hear people say on like YouTube stuff. I hear about NordVPN and ExpressVPN. I don't know which is better. No YouTuber will tell me that. They will only tell me the one they've been paid for. You know, that's just how it works. If either wants to, like... So, I don't know what I'm gonna do, or which one I'm gonna get. I figured I'd ask my sister. She spent a while in Korea. She had a VPN. Maybe she has a brand that she went with that's good. Or maybe she has a brand that she went with and didn't like. Either way, probably some good information there. That's a little more you know... I don't want to say unbiased because it's an ad. Everyone knows what it is, right? It's an ad, you know? But a little more impartial, let's say. A little more, like, consumer-facing. I guess I could also look out Consumer Reports or something. Or whatever. That would be fine and good. But yeah, could do the HelloFresh, something like that. I think that'd be fun. I don't know. No plans on, like, doing anything like that just right fast. Probably what I'll do more is just, like, I'll probably go and buy some pasta. And do some pasta sometime soon. I like, when I cook a meal, to have enough for, like, 2 different meals. You know, 2 different sessions. You know, it doesn't make sense to me to cook for an hour and only have, like, enough for 1 serving. You know, 1 instance. It just does not compute. Insofar as, like, yeah, if I'm gonna spend that time, I want to have leftovers. And I don't know how HelloFresh is on that front, I guess. We could try spinning. Let's try spinning next time. We'll try spinning.
Oh no!
If we could get the other stuff. Want to catch up on various backlogged personal things. I've talked about this before. You know, I'm pretty behind in, like, doing Twitch clips for the channel, you know, going through the VODs and, like, clipping out any clippable moments, which I like to do on account of, you know, I like those moments to be captured and preserved, and also, you know, there's the potential that they will serve as, like, a method of discovery, a discovery vector, or whatever you want to call it, in the near future. You know, at which point I would want to have, like, a well-stocked
Oh no!
array of a well-stocked array of clips, just so, you know, there'll be good ones that come out in any given case if people are looking in whatever discovery tools they put together for that. And also because I do like to think that every stream does have clippable moments in it. You know, good bits that stand on their own in, like, a 30-second, 10-second to 60-second style chunk, you know? And so long as those chunks exist, I want to pick them out, and that takes time, and it's been hard to keep up, and, you know, now I have more time. I can just bust those out when I'm not, like, entertaining calls from employers, or not looking for careers. You know, not doing it actively, which should be good. I also hope to catch up on my backlog. Hey, we did it. Very good. I hope to catch up on my backlog, which is where there's, like, a whole bunch of, I want to have, like, a review on Backlogged, which is sort of like Letterboxd for games. I want to have a review for every game I've ever played, and I'm only up to, like, 650. I'm only up to, like, 2017, so I have 5 years to work through, which, hey, I already worked through, like, 15, 20 years, so it's just, like, 5 years to go. 6 years, I guess, now, jeez. But, you know, now that I have more time, I'm gonna get back on track with that, you know. There's other things as well, like, I have so many anime in my backlog that I would like to get through. I have, you know, the ones I've been rewatching that I'd like to finish off. Games that I haven't played to completion. Like, there's stuff that has been on the back burner forever that maybe now I could find some time for. You know, maybe now I could find time to catch up on various personal projects. And things like, I like to, I'll say I like to maintain a catalog on my iPhone of anime music. You see, a thing about that is that I haven't really, I've been sort of skimping and sort of like, not skimping, but like cutting a little corner insofar as I don't usually get the artist information. I usually just like put that as a big to-do because that's a lot of work and I don't super duper care. And also album art, I'm usually like pretty slow to put in. Usually I just like get it all set up real quick like, and then eventually see if there's like art that I can grab for that.
Oh, no.
And then I go from there. Now, all that stuff is pretty backlogged, and I would like to now spend the time to like catch up on it and make progress, and you know, hopefully get it to a point where whenever I am back at work, I'll manage it. It's something where you have to like duck or something, right? That's how you do that, Spring? I think I've seen a similar thing before. Once or twice. No, okay, let's... You just jump, okay. I feel like I just jumped before, but maybe it didn't go off. Let's do it. All right. Seems like a bad move. If you hug the wall, it's harder to line up. Huh. Okay, don't hug the wall. We have 2 tries to do it. I'll say there's currently no levels in queue right now, but do what we did back in the olden days. If we run out of life, we'll play a different level.
Mario time.
And we can do something else, because I have been doing like my own levels for the last part of the stream, you know, like the for like the last call for levels, and I kind of like it there. I like it there. First clear. Oh shit, that's nice. I want another card. Been playing various F-Zeros, 99 mostly. So that was what yesterday's stream was, by the way. Yesterday's stream, I played a bunch of GX, X, and also Excitebike 64, for what it's worth. As well as some 99 as well, which is just a lovely take on the F-Zero formula. I also recently played F-Zero, regular F-Zero, just to like, you know, just to like refresh, when I say refresh, just to sort of get an idea of like how these tracks were all originally, back in the original game, you know? And they're pretty direct in 99. Like, the tracks are pretty much direct, same layout and everything, which is pretty neat, I think. I kind of didn't expect it to be that way, if I'm being honest. Fun boss fight, just gotta stay on the ground long enough for it to shoot, and avoid getting bounced into spikes on either end. Yeah, F-Zero having a good time with 99 especially. I'll say revisiting GX and X, I found GX to be... I'll be honest here. I'll be honest here. I found GX to be exactly how I thought it was originally. You know, kind of frustrating, a little bit on the annoying side as far as like the difficulty's a little high, the tracks are a little long. It doesn't quite... It could use a little faster pacing, I feel like. Meanwhile, F-Zero X is just as kick-ass as it ever was, and goddamn, I think that you know, I think that X is just so damn good. You know, it's a damn good game. I love how fast each of the tracks are. This will take all your lives. We'll see. I think I got the knack of it right here. Look at this. This is doable. Repeatable. Anyway. Well, hang on. Maybe. Fuck.
Oh no!
You say it's good. Oh, the light level. The light level. So not this one, another one coming up, is what you're saying. Gotcha. So anyway, F-Zero, having a great time with 99 especially. I will still maintain that 99 would be better if it was F-Zero X 99, but I understand that you can't make something that good. That's impossible, you know. And 99 does kick ass, and I think it's really fun. It's very hard to kill people in 99, I'll say. Like, if it was X, it would be, like, so goddamn easy. It'd be so fun. Just, and you'd be constantly taken out if it was, like, X. If it was, like, F-Zero X99, actually. Hey, can I... Here's a thought.
Oh no!
I have an idea. You suck at it, though? Yeah, I've never gotten any, like, nearly any first place finishes. I've gotten, like, some in the top 25. Never gotten to the last cup of a Grand Prix. I'm enjoying it, though. I can't wait for there to be more maps. If I stand right here... Oh, no, you know what? I need to be at least here. And if I'm at least here, those guys are gonna be on screen, so... They're gonna activate. Okay, so... It's cheese-proof. It's cheese-proof here. Good. Yeah, also, people are saying in chat, Ida's saying in chat, like, yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, I figured it out by myself as well. No cheese. No cheddar, specifically. I feel like when it comes to, like, cheesing a level, I feel like the cheese in question is more of a Gouda. You know? I don't know what Gouda tastes like, but I imagine it is the type of cheese that you think about when you think about cheese type of cheese, you know? Cheesing a level. What was that last card about? Was that the one about, let me see. Let me look at my list of cards. Oh, yeah, F-Zero. That's right. That was the F-Zero card. So, yeah, F-Zero. Having a great time with 99. I look forward to, you know, playing a lot more of that game. I look forward to new tracks. That's what I need right now. I need more tracks in that game. And then I will be, like... And, like, more variety of, like, what comes up when you hit go. And then that'll be good. That'll be lovely. Ida says GG, so I think we're done with this here level. Yep, very good. Thumbs up. Refresh our lives. Let's go on to the next one. By the way, folks, feel free to submit levels. Hey, we're open. We're good. Now is a great time to submit levels and carry on, you know? Let me do another card. I've been playing Mortal Kombat 1. Played a little bit of that between this stream and the last stream. Continue to be pretty happy with the story. It's like a good season 4, you know? That's sort of what it is now. Like, Mortal Kombat for me is all about the story, and it's just like basically a Netflix type series where... A Netflix type original series where you're watching, and it's good. And it's like, okay, shit, I like these characters. I like the fights that they're getting into. It's like fun and good, and yeah, I would say I'm enjoying MK1 a bunch. I will say as far as the gameplay goes, it doesn't do much for me. I'm not really a fighting game guy. I don't really get that stuff. I find it to be kind of stiff gameplay-wise. I think the thing that really bugs me the most, if I'm just saying one thing that bugs me about the gameplay, is the way that the cameo system works. Is that when you call in basically you hit a button to call in like a side character who does like a thing for you, does like a move. And while they're doing this move, your main character cannot move. They're just like locked in place, stiff as a board. And I think it's kind of silly that like, why can't you duck? Or like, you get ready with an uppercut while you're, you know, calling in your friend. Like, why have you frozen as if you're a statue while you're calling in your other guy? I guess that's just how fighting games are balanced, with like a lot of things being very explicitly punishable on purpose. But I don't know, it just feels stiff and bad to me whenever I play that. I like a responsive game, I guess, is a thing. You know, is my thought process there. I like a game where it's responsive and like your inputs feel like fast and like fluid, you know, where you can get a good flow going. And I can't really manage that with fighting games or Mortal Kombat in particular. I could just hit buttons and go like, this is kind of stiff in like a way that is surely intentional, but I just can't do it. There's a checkpoint that refreshes our lives. Is that the first time a checkpoint has refreshed our lives tonight? Weird. That's a hell of a weird thing. I guess there haven't been that many checkpoints tonight. Huh. Beautiful! Hey, we got through! So far, have needed to use no, like, contingency type thing. Let me refresh the lights. Go ahead and say I like it. Go ahead and hit next. Anyway, the story is great. I'll say that I'm having a great time. I got to the 4th act. Some stuff has popped off, and I'm pretty impressed by it. Mortal Kombat 1, pretty good. I would probably give it a 4 out of 5, which I don't remember what I gave the last one. I think the plot was better in the last one, I'll say. I think the last one's time travel plot was more fresh and more fun. More fresh and more fun, but if I had to say, I would say that I am liking this one more than the second one. So, you know, it's a good 4 out of 5 season of a show where you go like, all right, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. Hey, it's still pretty good. I'm having a good time watching this. And the fighting is okay. And it looks really great production value-wise. Amazing production values. You know, here's a game I'm, like, digging a lot more hardcore. That's Sea of Stars. Really loving Sea of Stars. I've gotten to the end game of Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars is like a Chrono Trigger type game. It's on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass, and it's, really fucking cool. It's made by the guys what made The Messenger. And, hell yeah, we made it through. That was tight. They're made by the guys who made The Messenger. And it's really fucking good. And it's not just like Chrono Trigger, not just like a combination of Chrono Trigger and Paper Mario. It has like tons and tons of its own ideas as well. In addition to like, you know, in addition to the, trying to find the words. In addition to like the basic of Chrono Trigger. It has a lot of unique ideas and original ideas about how it carries and does things. What the fuck is this level? Has a lot of original ideas, like, in particular, in particular, 2 systems come to mind. 1, Little Timmy stole your Switch, I see.
Oh no!
You got it back in World 7? Oh no. So it's multiple levels here? Ooh. So, oh, damn it. So it's really good. The systems that I would point out as far as like examples of really cool systems that are pretty original and unique to this game. One of them would be that there's like a... Fuck me. Actually, less level of World 6. Gotcha, okay. Hey, we ran out of tries. We'll return to that in a bit. There's currently no levels in queue other than yours, so... Let's see now. What can we do? Do you have levels that aren't in the super world? Or are your all your levels are in the are all your levels in the super world? I bet your first course isn't in the super world. Let's do this one as like we'll do this one. That's how we'll do it. I previously would just do a level of my own, but I'm kind of doing those in last call now, so I feel like it makes sense to keep those there, and you'll still see them. Cool. Almost half your levels. Gotcha. Gotcha. We'll use this as a refresher. Or, like, a break. You have 84 levels uploaded. Damn, nice. Okay, then cool. We'll just have to get lucky as far as guessing ones that aren't in the super world, I guess. Anyway, Sea of Stars, I'm in the end game. There's like a bunch of side stuff to do, and I'm really looking forward to like, you know, doing all that stuff and then finishing it off. It's been fucking fantastic so far. It's around maybe 30 hours long, 25 hours long. And I would say it's phenomenal. It's definitely a top-tier RPG, and I think it brings a lot to the table beyond just being, like, Chrono Trigger-esque. Here are the 2 systems that I'll say. When an enemy enemies can cast spells in Sea of Stars, and when they cast a spell, it takes them multiple turns usually. So you know that it's coming, and you know how many turns you have until it's coming. The other thing that you know is that there's like a bunch of symbols that appear next to their like nameplate, and those symbols will be like various sorts of types of damage, right? Like lunar magic, blunt, sword, something like that. And what that basically means is if you can do blunt damage, sword damage that many times, as well as whatever other damage types that are on there, you will cancel out that spell before they can do it, which is a pretty cool mechanic for making like every combat like really engaging and challenging and like tactically sound. They're all the final levels? Okay, so we can go from the other side if we need to like you know, bounce out of the super world because lightning round stakes, you know. That'll work. So Sea of Stars, it's fucking phenomenal. I've really enjoyed my time with it. Systems like that. There's also systems like when an ally is downed. When an ally is downed, they don't die automatically. Instead, what happens is they just get stunned basically for a couple of turns. Hey, there we go. There was a star in those hidden blocks. Okay, I didn't need it. Thanks, Timmy. Hey, Lord Bowser. Lord Bowser, submitted level. Okay, I'm gonna hit complete on this and we'll bounce back to Bowser. And Bowser is here, so hey. You're good for it, Bowser. Let's go. Bowser, are you still streaming? Feel free to raid, you know, hey. Raids are cool. We like raids here. If you're not in the habit of doing raids, Lord Bowser, I would recommend them. You know? You have done raid. Actually, I have attended a stream of yours. You did do a raid at the end, so you are in the habit. Here's a super world of Mithra. Yes, that Mithra. You're on a break. Gotcha. You seem to take a lot of breaks. That's cool, though. I guess my making process generally also involves, like, breaks. You know, when I'm not on stream, though. You know, I like to take a breather, think about stuff, and, you know, etc. Let's continue on with this, then. Oh, and I finished the ghost house, by the way, if you were wondering. I guess you could look. I guess you could look on your end and see that I beat it. That would be a thing that you could do to see what happened. See that I played it and that I beat it. Cool level. Good use of bullet bills. Fun to play fast. Hell yeah. Sea of Stars. Maybe I'll finish it this weekend. I don't know. I mean, what else do I have? I say this weekend as if that's a thing that matters. I could finish it anytime I want. Maybe I'll finish it before the next stream. How about that? How about that as a thing that I can say? Maybe I'll finish it before Monday's stream. And that'd be fun. Really enjoying the hell of that. Definitely will be pretty high on my top 10 list of the year. I feel like now my top 10 list is in pretty good shakes, you know? I've got enough games now for my top 10 where I'm happy if any of them get included. There's none in particular that I just want not to be on there, you know? Later, Lord Bowser. You have a good one. Always appreciate a level. That's right, bye, Lord Bowser. Anyway, I got more cards. Thinking about playing more of a bunch of games in addition to Sea of Stars. You know, I want to finish Armored Core. I'm on like Act 3 of that, so I'm like halfway done. Like a Dragon Ishin, I got like more than half the chapters to go, but that's been really cool so far, so definitely want to see that through. I'm at like level 20 of Diablo 4, so I could get back into that, sure, why not? And the other two are Game Pass games that I've enjoyed, and I think would be fun to like get all the way through. Grist doesn't seem that long, and Lonely Mountains Downhill seems like a great podcast game. Oh, but not Starfield. I'm not going to go back to Starfield. Even with more time, I don't think I'll be spending that time on Starfield in particular. Let's go ahead and hit complete and hit next. I thought about maybe doing another level for Lord Bowser, considering that Ida just had a bunch in a row. But let's play by our rules. Lord Bowser already departed. You know, we gotta play by the rules here. And the rules say we move on in this case. So long as there's another level, which there is. If Bowser was still around and submitting, like, you know, we'd go back and forth. But, you know, we do what we can with the levels that are submitted. And I'm happy that there are levels submitted. Hey, it would be a slow night if there weren't any. I guess we'd end with a whole bunch of cards undone. Or maybe I'd switch over to another game. I guess I could switch over to another game in that case. Or do some making. I've done making before. Okay. This is pretty over the top. I don't know if you noticed. Spin jumping works really well though. Actually. Gotta go, there he is. Okay, this is easy, but it is very hectic to look at, you know? Roy always gave you Florida man vibes. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that, dude. Anyway, those are games I want to get back to, finish out, and I probably will. Let me just also run through a couple of anime that finished this week. I already talked about them on yesterday's stream, but just to give a quick run through, I finished level 1 Demon Lord and One Room Hero. Give that a 3 out of 5. Little bits of a show about a small reincarnated demon lord who moves in with a deadbeat hero. It's a little bit sleazy, and some of the humor is a little too cringe, but it's all right. 3 out of 5. That's how I came through on that. You cannot take damage here. I also finished Malevolent Spirits Monokari Core 2. I thought this is a shonen show about a guy what deals with spirits that embody objects and have powers related to those objects when they manifest as like people. Sort of similar to Sugimomo. Same concept, same supernatural entity as in Sugimomo. And it's pretty good. I think the second season, the second core, was a big improvement on the first core. It had big moments, it had suspense, it had like some really good slice of life type stuff. Full marks. Enjoyed it quite. Fuck! That's hard. I finished The Dreaming Boy as a Realist. This show is a little bit weird on the face of it, you know? When you see the concept, it sounds like it could be quite sketchy. The main character, like, self-identifies as a stalker, but that's not what's going on. He's a rom-com protagonist, and he just doesn't realize it, you know? That's a life. Here's another life. The dude's just a rom-com protagonist, you know? And he exists in a rom-com world, and you know, as soon as he, like, disengages, backs off, whatever, you know, the girl that he is, like, dealing with is kind of weirded out by it. She doesn't know what to do about it, because clearly there is something there, and it handles all that complexity with a very shrewd, like, hand. You know, with, like, a very shrewd, like, understanding of all the characters' emotions. And that's true not just of the main characters, but also of the entire cast as well. It's quite good. I would compare it to like Snafu, to like teenage romance Snafu. Similar sort of vibes, similar sort of like character who kind of doesn't like himself, I guess, as well as a relationship that is like clearly going somewhere. It's only one. He only has like one girl that he's really going to get with, but there are other girls as well, and they do have stuff going on, and it's you know, their emotions are also well considered as well. Cool, that was great. That was a killer one. Go ahead and refresh our lives and do another card. Reborn as a vending machine. I now wander the dungeon. This sounds like a weird one, sounds like a bad idea, but it's actually a good idea. The guy is a vending machine. He cannot talk normally, nor can he move. But but basically it ends up being like a sort of a skill point investing isekai, you know, where a lot of the focus is on like RPG, MMO style building of character. Like, oh, I'm gonna invest my skill points in this, I'm gonna invest my skill points in that. Instead of it being like, I'm gonna invest my skill points in a flaming punch. It's like, I'm gonna invest my skill points in hot ramen. I can now serve hot ramen. And it's kind of fun in being like sort of almost like a shopping simulator, you know, like a storefront simulator down his end, where like, yeah, you know, he sells more stuff, that's XP for him, and it, you know, translates directly into him buying more moves and more abilities. And there is also a little bit of standard isekai combat stuff as well, like, specifically, there are points where, like, monsters are attacking or whatever, and he has to figure out, like, well, what can I help? How can I help this situation? And he's like, I can unlock, like, the ability to do, like, fuel. I can turn into a fuel pump. I guess that's like a vending machine. And it's like, I guess a fuel pump is a vending machine. Okay, dude. Apparently that counts. Hold right on that one. Full jump when you hit the note. Okay. I'll make note of that for next time. No level in queue. We'll do the thing we did last time. Again, anyone watching, if you have a level, now's a great time to get it in. You will have, like, priority, considering that we've done a bunch from Ida already, you know. We gotta have the lightning round mean something, even if it's just one level in queue, you know. Even if we're just down to one. It has to mean something. Anyway, it's pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I think the fact that it's like half as good as it is remarkable, and I think it's great. I think it's one of the best things on. I do think it's best at the beginning, but do think it's best at the beginning, but you know, what?
Oh no!
You don't know what you were thinking? I don't know what you were thinking either. You're gonna go through this pipe and that's gonna be it. You were thinking that's funny. This is a funny way to do it. That'll be it. There we go. Anyway, Bending Isekai, it's actually really great. Strongest at the start, but that strength is less enough for me to put it into S tier, I think, into my favorites list. I think it is remarkably good for the concept, you know. Whoops, I should have done a thing. Listen, your 2019 to 2022 levels, you had no idea. Gotcha, okay. Go ahead and do Super World over here. Return to here, get our lives back up. I'll do another card. I also finished My Happy Marriage, 2 out of 5. For that one, it ended up being just very depressing. The basic premise is that the main character, she is abused, and she gets pushed into an arranged marriage that is bigger than the alternative, being abused. You know, a Cinderella situation. The abuse sucks and it's really omnipresent, you know? Even after the first episode where, you know, she is put into an arranged marriage, it does not stop the abuse. People continue being weird about her and, like, being mean and involving her in all sorts of weird genealogical fucking weirdo conspiracies, I guess. And the thing is, like, a huge thrust of it is, like, there's, like, weird supernatural powers that are in this world, and, like, that's part of the reason that she was abused, I guess, is that, like, oh, yeah, she didn't have, like, the powers that people wanted her to have, so they just thought, like, oh, okay, well, let's just be abusive then, and be really mean to her for the rest of her life, which, okay, that's a really bad reason to Cinderella someone, first off. Second off, man... who gives a fuck about all this shit? Just fucking, can we move on, please? And no, you cannot move on. The show never moves on. It's very, very depressing. Thank you for a level. We'll try another one. We'll go back to your earlier levels as we've been doing. Let's do it like that. Lightning round gotta mean something. Let's go ahead and find, we'll just go to the bottom. Go to the bottom and continue working our way up. This is a long jump. I got it. I got it. We gotta do a long jump. I'm looking forward to next season's returning shows. I'll say. I have them all listed here, so, you know, let me just, like, talk through them real fast before like, moving on. Talk through them real fast. This one is decent. I see. Eminence and Shadow. That show is, an isekai. The main character is really powerful, but he wants to hide in plain sight. It has a funny joke at its core, which is that the main character really wants to roleplay being a background character, even though he's the main character, and that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. I can just do this regular jumps. You've heard of Unomusume Derby because it has a song in My, but you don't know what it's about. Well, let me tell you what it's about. Uma Musume Pretty Derby is about horse girls. They horse race. They are girls who are horses. They are named after, like, famous horses from history. Like, you know, El Condor Pasa and Special Week. Is the main character of Season 1 is Special Week, and Tokai Teo is the main character of Season 2. They're like Japanese race horses, specifically, I think, is part of it. And the results are kind of drawn from history, like the actual results of the horse races that literally happened, and they sort of put together a sports/idol anime around that, and it ends up being pretty good. Ends up being pretty damn good. Season 2 especially just fucking is some of the best sports anime stuff out there. Season 1 is a little more mixed because they didn't know if they wanted to go sports or idol. And they ended up realizing in Season 2, like, all the way sports. 90% sports, 10% idol anime. That's the divide. Girlfriend is, here, let me tell you the premise of Girlfriend real fast. Hang on. Let me tell you the premise of Girlfriend. I'll say it in a sentence. The basic premise is the biggest wife guy in the world, decides to give polyamory a try. He gets a second girlfriend, and it's fun, it's cute, it's screwball as all fuck, and you know, it is just very funny as a character archetype. You know, the kind of character who's just like, I love my girlfriend, to be like, I love both my girlfriends, you know, just as like a thing. Like, oh, I love you, but you know, I also have, I gotta respect her as well. She's put in the work, and you know, I gotta admit, like, maybe we should do this thing. I'll say, like, it does exist in a world where, like, it doesn't really portray polyamory, like, realistically, but it's a rom-com, so it's allowed to some light liberties, I think. You know, Like, there is a little bit of, like, coercion in the first episode, as so far as, like, well, we gotta do this. She's into it, I'm into it, are you into it? Okay, whatever. You know, that's sort of how it originally gets started, but, like, yeah, that's just how this had to go. You know, in a rom-com way. In real life, you would have a very serious conversation, and, you know, think very heavily about it, and, like, make sure all parties were on board. But it's a rom-com. It's supposed to be funny. So, really looking forward to that. I really love the first season. Spy X Family, very famous show. There's a spy. There's, you know, spy mother. No, spy father. Assassin mother. Mind reader daughter. Fortune teller dog. It's good. Mixed nuts goes hard. It does. All the OPs and EDs are phenomenal. Did I not just run into that guy? It looked like I ran into that guy, but whatever. I didn't die until I hit the whatever the fuck I landed on. All the OPs and EDs of that show are great. You never watched it? You should. It's fucking great. I loved Spy X Family. The final 2 shows are ones that are returning after 3 months of being off the air. You know, they sort of had a split core thing, as is pretty common in anime. Those being Dr. Stone, which is about a... Dr. Stone is about... Yeah, when you clear checking this, you jumped into the thing all the time. What was your piece of advice again? Can you repeat it? Hold right on that one. Full jump when you hit the mole. Okay. Hold right on that one. Full jump when you hit the mole. Well, we didn't get that far. You don't need to hit the Koopa, you just go. You don't need to hit the Koopa, you just go. We'll realize that next time. Anyway, Spy X Family, wonderful. Dr. Stone is a show where people get frozen in stone for 1,000 years. For like multiple thousand years, and society regresses back to 0. And then the main character, Senku, happens to be a super genius, so he's able to, like, figure out, like, you know, and remember all the technological stuff you need to reinvent society. Like, he knows how to make batteries, he knows how to make a computer, he knows how to do everything. Well, I'd be surprised if they got to computers, actually. That'd be, like, one step too far for me. Like, radios, okay, they had those. But, like, computers, I don't know that that'll happen. I bet that's relatively imminent. Anyway, there's some good stuff going on in that show right now, where they left off. I can't wait for that to come back on the air. That's gonna be damn good. And the last one is... What was the last one? Oh yeah, Dead Mount Deathplay, which is about a necromancer who gets, like, reincarnated into... He's like a Lich Lord. He's like a fucking big-ass skeleton Lich who gets reincarnated into our world. It's like a regular, like, boy. And, he does a bunch of magic stuff and sort of hangs out with some assassins. And, like, sort of integrates himself into the undersea world... into the underworld of, like, you know, Japanese... the supernatural scene in Japan, I guess. And there's just a bunch of cool characters, a bunch of cool stuff going on. It's endlessly creative in a way that's really good. I'm really loving... The first season of Dead Mount Deathplay was really fucking good, and, you know, if the second season continues to be half as good, it's definitely... If the second core continues to be half as good, it has a pretty damn good shot of making my top 10 of the year, I'll say. Like, of the anime that I'm looking at right now, like, that's the one that jumps out at me of, like, oh yeah, that'll be top 10. Oh yeah, that's lovely. I'll tell you one example of, like, a creative thing that it does, a creative character that it has. There's, like, a point where the character says, like, you know, oh, I'm a necromancer. I can do stuff with spirits, wandering spirits. I can put them into objects. And case in point, he puts a wandering spirit who, like, is, like, he founds downstairs or something, you know. He lives in a building where a bunch of people used to be murdered, so there's, like, plenty of ghosts and stuff for him to use for, like, magic and stuff on occasion when he can. And he puts a ghost into a pen. So now they have like a character who's just a pen, just like bobbing around and like writing things out, which is pretty cool as like a goofy character that you have in this weird necromancer magic anime reverse isekai type thing. He's a necromancer in another world. He gets reincarnated into our world, Japan. Into modern day Japan, by the way, if you're wondering how that worked out. Anyway, it's just full of cool ideas like that, and some really rad shit. You know, like there's a magician who's like just a stage magician, but he really just wants to find out if magic is real, and he just wants to like do his magic and do it like convincingly enough where it's like, hey, if anyone has any real magic, please tell me, okay? And then, oh, I see what you mean. That's cool. You think that, Kago took you longer to clear check than the last level of hell? The last level of this world, you mean? Gotcha. Anyway, bunch of killer anime coming back this next season. I'm pretty excited about that. I think, like, this weekend, the first of the shows starts. The first, of the seasonal anime is starting, like, this weekend, so I guess by maybe the next stream, Monday stream, I'll probably have an opinion on the first new show, and probably also a few others that will be ended by Monday. Which I bet there are. Not any from Friday, but maybe some from Saturday? Yeah, come to think of it, I think Horimiya is ending. I think that Mixed Nesai Story is ending. I think that, it'll be time to render judgment, you know? That jump is really hard. That Koopa jump. I'm not sure if I'm, like, waiting long enough or what. Yeah, we're getting there. Switch again. Again, I'll say for anyone watching, you can get in some levels now, and, you know, we'll alternate. Or otherwise, I'll use, you know, just do some from Ida's earlier days, you know? Another card, I also finished Local Duel, including the 2 OVA episodes. I talked about this yesterday because I had finished everything except for those 2 last episodes. Now I finished those ones as well, and they are all 5 out of 5. The season, the unaired 13th episode, and the 2 OVA episodes made later, they're all 5 out of 5 to me. Local Duel is a show about local idols, an idol group that is like in a like rural town, and their job is just to make the local town look good, pretty much. You know, they are hired by the government to like, by the local government to do like, you know, to appear on local TV and stuff like that, and like, you know, appear at like the opening of like a public pool or something, and you know, give a little speech for the people that are there, you know, all the locals. It's nice and cute and chill. I will say the, okay, we can just drop down directly from that second platform, I guess. I will say the 2 OVA specials, one of them was a Christmas special, which was very nice and special and festive. The other one was them making a promotional video for the town, which really makes the town look very nice and pleasant and full of nice people. Both of them were really good, and I enjoyed watching them before the stream tonight. Good shit. Refresh our lives for the next one. Let's go. Anyway, as an idol anime, you kind of expect it to be a little more intense, but since they're just like local idols and they don't really have that much in the way of competition, the show is more about them just like hanging out and being like cute and good, right? Less about them like competing and doing hard things, and more just like hanging out, being buds, being friendly, being nice, and you know, enjoying the local stuff. It hews more towards slice of life, I'll say, than like a typical idol thing. Much more slice of life than a typical idol thing. And it's very chill and comfy in a way that some idle stuff tends not to be. You know, tends to be like more competitive based. Or more like, you know, fraught. More like them just working their asses off to get gigs, get things lined up, etc. You know, gain popularity, where these girls are just cute and good, and they, you know, do stuff for their local municipality, and occasionally travel and, you know, represent their town in, like, contests and stuff. I feel like we lost a life there, and I didn't count it, didn't I? If I didn't lose a life, correct me. I'll correct that. But I feel like I miscounted. Anyway, that's all the anime talk. Just wanted to touch on those animes on a, like, proper good stream. Like, that's not true. That's not fair. The F-Zero stream was good, but, you know, viewer levels were like the bread and butter, so I kind of want to mention important stuff there. Important stuff here, you know? Especially because it's not really enough time between streams to, like, come up with, like, new things to talk about, generally. That one. Another card here. Mario Wonder and Spider-Man 2. They're on the same day, October 20th. I'm looking forward to that. I will say, none of my plans overlap with that. So, that'll be nice. That'll be some sort of big stream thing. Definitely will play both of those games live for the first time. I'm not sure the unlock timing of either of them. Or if, like... maybe Sony will unlock theirs first, you know? Maybe Nintendo will stick to 11 p.m. Central, and Sony will do it earlier on the night before. In which case, maybe we'll start with Spider-Man, and then, like, whenever Wonder moves up, like, immediately move over to that. I bet Spider-Man will be pretty good, but, like, Mario Wonder, man, that's gonna be, like, so fucking good. And I guess it's nice that I'll have time to, like, really just play the hell out of it. Oh my god, this is upside down. That'll be a super good time. I'll also say in general... generally... 1 second here. First try, let's go. I'll also say generally. I'm looking forward to things in general. I do feel like that's sort of a thing that I've been hung up on in the past, right? Recently, just like looking forward to things that are far away seems hard sometimes when it's like, okay, you know, it's gonna be a while until that game comes out. It's gonna be a while until then. There's a lot of work and like stuff in between then and now. Hey, Lord Bowser, how's it going? Welcome back. There's a lot of stuff between then and now, typically. Like, when I was about to go back on vacation to Silver Dollar City this summer, I was not really thinking that much about everything after the trip, you know? Basically, like, in my head, time ended after that vacation because, like, okay, well, I don't want to think about going back to work, you know, after this. I don't really want to think about that. Shout out to Lord Bowser. That is not something that I really enjoy, like, you know, pondering. But now that I'm between things, it's nice. I have a bit of a refreshing feeling about the whole thing. And I'm looking forward to a lot the rest of this year and going off into the future. I will say, like, part of me does, like, hesitate and go, like, well, I do need to find a job before the new year, roughly. If I'm to, like, stay in this apartment and, like, or maybe I can push it farther. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I would really like to figure that out by then. Otherwise, I do have to worry. My folks have offered to be like, hey, you can move in with us if that happens, if you can't make rent or whatever while in between jobs, but I have enough money to keep going for a while. I just don't know like how that's gonna work out, and I don't know how the fuck I would stream without my own place. That'd be weird. That'd be weird for me. I can't imagine that. Let me give you a shout out, Lord Bowser. There you are. There's your name. And also, let me give you the other type of shout out. Shout out, Lord Bowser. 13. Hey. There you go. Y'all probably know Lord Bowser. Does a lot of viewer levels. Supportive of a lot of shit. Very nice. I will say, for those who raid, hello. I do viewer levels on Fridays, as many of you are aware. I think a lot of you I recognize, on account of, y'all, we run in the same circles, a lot of us, I think, right? Anyway, please get in your viewer levels. Now's a great time. I'll say that, as far as life stuff goes, I'm now between jobs, and that's why there's a sub goal for tonight. If we were to get like 10 subs tonight, we would do 50 turns after the Mario Maker. Which, we'll see. It looks like we're not gonna get it, but anything could happen. Thank you for the love of Lord Bowser. Great. Good. Love to see it. About to be on the streets. I'm not gonna be on the streets. I'll manage. And also, I am like pretty confident that things are going to be good. I have a lot of experience now under my like thing, and like the recruiters are approaching. They are interested. I am being approached actively. That said, some of them are approaching and saying like, you want to move, you move country, move state, move city, and my answer is no, but still, there's a lot of fish in the sea, a lot of opportunities out there, and they all look pretty good to me. I'm liking the look of things right now. Thank you for the levels, Ida. We'll surely get back to that later tonight. Let me do the next card. It's Lord Bowser. You know it. I'll do another card while I'm punching this in. Follow up on Duolingo. I mentioned yesterday that I had reached like 2,000 days of Duolingo, and then I proceeded to get the word red wrong. I think I said Aki. It's Akai. Or Aka. That goes to show you, like, honestly, I'll say it now, I'll say it then, like, Duolingo is not really the best way to, like, learn a language, but I don't know, I like to do it every day. I like to keep the number up and keep the number going, and, sometimes I just do the least amount of work possible, which is to say, just redo a very easy lesson, which they have made the easy lessons very boring recently, unfortunately, which is kind of a shame that it's like that, It's what they only teach you in the first lesson is like, yeah, how do you say rice? How do you say green tea? And please, and water. And it's like, okay, well, I guess this is useful now, but I don't know, I kind of felt like the basic hello, hi, repertoire or whatever was a little more normal, I guess. Anyway, I guess that also goes to show, like, the longer you go without reviewing specific words, the more they go out your mind. That, and also, using them in context is more important than anything. Just, like, memorizing them on a sheet of paper, that's not gonna do you any good if you can't say them, And also, just, like, in the context of a Duolingo thing, right? You're not answering, like, what is the word for red? You're answering, like, what is the word for red? Is it Aka? Is it Shiroi? Is it Akai? Is it Shiroi? Is it Aoi? And the answer is like, it's the one that starts with an A. I got it. And it's like, correct. That's right. And it's like, wait, but could you identify it out of a lineup of very similar words? I don't know. Maybe. You want to try that or no? Okay. Well, that would be hard anyway. Oh, we have to wait here. You're tired as fuck? Gotcha. You're gonna do some stuff tomorrow morning? Have fun, Lord Bowser. That sounds nice. Very productive maker you are. I know this. Make a lot of levels, I'll say. Okay, you cannot cheese it. You cannot cheese it. Okay, we're learning. We're learning this. This is not that hard. A checkpoint will refresh our lives, so let's hope for that. Anyway, still doing Duolingo and Lingo Deer. It's not really for me like any more learning the language, I guess. Just like a casual curiosity and like, you know, I'll probably never do enough immersion to really like get it down pat, you know, or like speak with actual speakers, whatever. But I don't know, it's interesting enough. And the vocabulary can give you like some insights into stuff. And, you know, being able to read like, you know, some basic shit can be like helpful in some cases. Like, you know, when I see like Japanese names in Mario Maker, if no kanji is involved, I might be able to like take a crack at it. Well, I say would be able to do a pretty good job of it, I reckon. Anyway, I like big number going up, even if it's not the most effective way to learn a language. It's also just a bit of fun, honestly. It does feel weird, like, you know, being 2,000 days in and just, like, having not that much to show for it, to the point of, like, yeah, I can't really speak it, never really spoke it, just took a bunch of lessons on a daily basis. Sometimes just doing the bare minimum, you know, if I'm having a busy day or whatever, you know, that just makes sense as a thing. This is a cool level after the midway. This section is pretty damn cool. Very like, there's the level with the ropes in Ropey Ruckus? No. There's the level in Vine Valley. The third level in Vine Valley. That one's kind of similar. Very cool. I'm gonna hit complete. I'm gonna hit next. Next up is Ida. GG. Thank you. I think I got like one more card left here tonight, and then I think we will do last calls. Again, if someone were to drop like a whole bunch of subs like all at once, we could do 50 turns of Mario Party, but doesn't look like that's gonna happen. I understand it is a bit of a thing. It's fine, you know, hey, I just wanted to put that out there as an option. Recently got Mario Party 4, and, you know, in the mail, and I thought, like, there was some interest in that the last stream. What if we just offered it? Just offered it for 10. I also considered offering, like, that and the Mario Party 8 for, like, another 10, but, let's just take it one at a time, I guess, and not get too ahead. Ida is up. I'm gonna do what I think is the last card. Oh shit, this is the last card, but I forgot to put the dealy-doo on it. My bad. What do y'all make of the panspermia hypothesis? That is the last card. I just forgot to mark it as such. Panspermia hypothesis basically says that, you know, it is theoretically possible for microbes of very simple natures to survive space, and to stay in space and to just, like, live on the inside of meteorites that land down on planets. And, like, to be blasted into space by some process. You know, like planets breaking up or whatever. Dude, you're dying right now? Damn, that's a damn shame. Basically, that is the idea, and, The idea then is that life did not originate on Earth. Maybe it originated in space and just came down to Earth. I think this idea is, there's a problem with this idea apparently. Like, it's untestable. And also, even if life did come from somewhere else, you would still have to explain, like, how exactly it came into being. You know, how exactly was it first, like... How exactly was it first, like, spawned in the first place, regardless if it was here or somewhere else. Fuck, that was the worst death ever. By the way, folks, get in your levels. Let's do this. If y'all have any levels, any further levels, now is a fantastic time. Anyway, let me finish my thought about panspermia, I guess. I think it's a neat idea. I think that's conceivable. I don't know if it would have happened, but it is a cool idea to imagine that life might be basically the same everywhere, just like seeded by like some specific event that happened like somewhere eons ago, like countlessly far away. You know, that is a pretty beautiful idea. I guess I would have questions as far as like, hey, we got through that part for the first time. Damn it. Didn't know where to go there. You have to wait a second on that part, but hey, we got through that part. That part that was killing us. Fuck! Just run off, arrow as an indicator. Okay. Do that next time. People who have levels, feel free to give me them. What I've been doing right now. Actually, I think it's time for last call. Last thought on panspermia. I think it's conceivable it could have happened. That said, even if we do find like DNA and base life in space, it would be impossible to tell whether it came from other places or from Earth. So you'd be like moot. It'd be kind of like a moot point. Like maybe Earth infected the universe with life, or maybe somewhere else did. Who can say? But I do think it's fascinating, and if like there was DNA-based life everywhere, that'd be phenomenal. That'd be really cool. I guess I don't know, like, would everything in space be like so simple that everything on Earth evolved from like one strain of it? Would there be multiple space strains that could come down on a planet? These are all questions that there are not answers for. Okay, folks, it is time now for last calls. I'm going to dismiss the current level, so Ida, you can go ahead and get that in there. Anyone else can get in a level as well. Previously, we have done the last 7 worlds of my super world, the last 7 weeks, I guess. Jeez, it's been a minute, huh? We've done like the last 7 worlds of my super world over the last 7 weeks. Thank you for the level, Lord Bowser. However, we finished that last week, so now I guess we can just play the 2 levels from this current world that I have, and I'll say again, you can go check out this one. It just went back up recently. Go ahead and try it out, see how you feel. I think it has improved a bit from its first iteration and should be a little bit more pleasing. But let's try Bonus Biome 1. I will say, part of me is wondering if Bonus Biome 1 should also have some iteration. Like, maybe I should make this a mite bit easier. It is a Link level set in the clouds, set in like a cloud castle type deal. Where like, you know, you get Link and you're able to like run around and do stuff as Link. You know, as you do as Link. You get a Shellman at the midway. And then, hey, guess what? Here's the sun. The sun is here to fuck up your day. Meanwhile, you get all this stuff where you can jump into these bullet bills, bonsai bills, and sword them, which is pretty damn cool, I think. I think this is pretty reasonable, traditional-ass Link level. I'm hoping not to make it, like, too hard that people give up. You know, that's, like, my guiding light here. I don't want it to be so difficult that people give up. Here, there's like a hidden area to the left. You go through, and you can find a 50 coin over there. And also a Shellmet. That is the only Shellmet in the second half of the level. which might be unfair, but I don't know. I feel like in a Zelda level, you should be rewarded for for like exploring, and that's like the biggest reward I can give a player, you know, and they should probably take it if they want to survive. I'll say one thing I have thought about, as far as like what I could add. If I add like more flying power-ups, more flying swords, just to like resword them in case they lost it in a stupid mistake, I think that would be like nice and kind. Like maybe a sword during right before the chain chop comes at you at the platforms, because it's kind of impossible to deal with without sword, honestly. And maybe like, I could see a sword in this section though. Actually, it doesn't really seem 100% necessary to me. God, you clear this one and play a Super World on Twitch at some point when you get it done. Gotcha. And the last part is easy. I guess I would add more swords. I guess more swords would help. Just like a couple, like a spare sword in the middle of the first segment. And maybe like either a spare sword or maybe like a spike helmet that you had to risk your ass to get. Like, it wouldn't actually be that hard to put like another spike helmet, but put it low in the flight path of the sun. You know, such that if you wanted to go get it, you had to face the sun, which is kind of like, you know, the intent to make the sun challenging in a platform level context. This here is Ripsaw Rainbow. It is a hybrid flying level where the first half is flying and the second half is more on foot. Here, this is also, by the way, the second revision, and I've added just like a bunch of power-ups to help with the difficulty and to make it so that, you know, originally I had all the I kind of had all the power-ups be like little challenges in this one, and I feel like some people just like skip them out of hand because instead of just like going for it, you know? And now there's an option beyond that where you can get a second one a little later in the level if you so please. Also, I made it really hard to get into this nook here by the wrong way. You have to do it the right way by killing the guys and then flying down. Otherwise, you're gonna be screwed. Yeah, we're not getting that one, but that one's fine. It's a fun 50. Here, I put a second one right here. And you can, like, spend a second to get it. Also, if you want to, like, combat these guys, and, like, combat this space is now big enough for that. A lot of little changes to make the pain points a little less pronounced. And hopefully cut back on the difficulty a fair bit while maintaining the cool factor. You know? Here is the second half here, and it's all more flying based, or sorry, less flying based, more blue raft based. And also more emphasis on these fire Podobo guys who are gonna be just a little bit of a nuisance if you let them get out of control. I did consider like you know, when I was considering like changes for this, I did consider like check this out. You can spin this guy, but also this guy is going to be sequestered if you don't kill him, so you don't have to worry. It's designed around that, I'll say. Fuck. We're doing this lightning round style, by the way. But it's fine, it's cool. We almost did it that time. Anyway, I think this level turned out really well. Oh, also I added this, so if you get fucked up and fall into the spikes, you can get back up. I don't necessarily 100% want to kill you if you fuck that up, you know, and, like, go too far. I think that is fine to do. A lot of little changes, I'll say. And I hope that these changes improve it. And, you know, this is just to say, again, you know, there's a lot of value in, like, getting player feedback and seeing how they take to it. See here, it prevents that spike ball from being a problem when you're, like, jumping from one blue raft to the next. Which is a good thing, I think. Let's get the one up. Perfect. That's of the caliber I want for my super world. That's of a good caliber. Excellent caliber. Well, that's all of that world that's built right now. But let's do the next best thing and look at what's built of the rest of the levels here. So I have here Bonus Biome 3 Poke Pressure is the current name. My guess is this level will be rethought entirely and reformulated because I just don't feel like it's gonna be like this. I don't mind this theming of like it being like giant plants. That's fine. The basic gimmick that I had in mind is that Pokey jumping on top of stuff creates like enemies in a good orderly fashion. Thing is, that's probably like way inefficient as far as like enemy usage goes. So I'll probably want to come up with something different for this. And I just have like a smattering ideas, all too early to like really speak to. This will be a challenge to start like breaking out and figuring out. The fourth level will be Dimlit Derelict, a level in which it'll have like a dark theme to it. You know, the outside will be some sort of derelict ship, probably in the night theme because that will fit the atmosphere better. I did put together these like funny like on-off jumpy thingies where once you hit them, it toggles the on-off. I think these are cute, but I don't know. I don't think these are necessarily the thing I want to hang my hat on. The idea I have for this right now is this new Super Mario Bros. U level you're gonna make for 8.3. I'm not sure right now which is gonna be New Super Mario Bros. U and which one is gonna be Super Mario Bros. 3. I could go either way on it. I might switch this one to be the new U. I might switch the other one to be the 3. Either way kind of makes sense to me. So for this one, I am thinking like having the light turn on for periods of time. Maybe it could be something like when the on-off is on, the light is on. When the on-off is off, the light is off. That's just a thought, though. We'll see what turns out to be feasible, you know, in time. What turns out to work. And the final idea that I have for the last world is Bonus Biome 5 Playtime Palace. I sort of want all these levels to have like a slightly different take on the sky theme, you know, just as like sky as like a jumping off point. And you know, this one isn't really sky, it's Toy Box, but you know, that is the Super Mario Brothers 3D World game version of sky. And my basic idea right now is I want this to be a level where you have a choice of power-ups, and you can choose, you know, for each segment, whether you get a fire flower, a cat suit, a boomerang, or a hammer. You can choose between the 4 of them. And then you go from there, and it's just a regular fun-ass level that uses all the 3D World stuff I haven't had a chance to yet. That one's gonna be a good one, I think. That one's gonna be very fun, and you know, it might be the hardest one just by virtue of it's not gonna have additional copies after you get yours. You know, maybe there'll be a midway point where you get another shot at the room with the power-ups in it, and you can pick up a second power-up, let's say. But it's not gonna be like the rest of these where you're just like constantly refreshing your power-up in a normal style. Anyway, that there is the last call for levels. We got 2 of them in. Let's finish these off and have that be that. I'm going to take down the last calls, get the next level up. It is Ida. Ida is up next. Said a thing just now. Is good for it. Oh, and let me gotta close the queue as well. The queue is closed. Let's finish off these levels and call it a night. 8VG. Get all perfect. Get all perfect. I guess I have to figure out like what exactly that level is going to be in the middle, you know? Is that going to be like a Is that gonna be like fruit garden themed? Is it gonna be like some other archetype in this new U style? Is it gonna be New Super Mario Bros. 3 style? Really need to work it out. And I'll have to try stuff, and I reckon, considering that this whole world is like a Lost World type deal, I reckon the place to look for inspiration would be like all the Lost Worlds of the DKC games. Oh, hey, Infinity Man, you just missed the lock. Let me... Here, go ahead, get one in. You just missed it. You're just like seconds late. I'll let you in, no problem. Thank you. Very good. Infinity Miner, I should say, not Infinity Man. Damn it, I have to not stop. I have to not stop on that. The one I'm giving you is pretty easy. That's great, because the other ones in the queue happen to be kind of difficult where we're at in this super world that we're taking cracks at. We got it down, but also we have taken more tries on this during the lightning round during a single stream than I think like any prior level, maybe. This one isn't hard? You say that. I don't know. Oh no, it's up there. It's not easy. Last try here. Let's go, let's do it. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh! You said fall off! You said run off. It didn't work. Oh my god. Hey, Shoop. You just missed the close off. You can get one in. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get one in. Go ahead. Go again. Go. Please. By all means, Shoop. Go ahead. Next time, I think we'll get through that one. I reckon. We'll get through it. Need to put that on a cooldown. Just a little cooldown. Shoop, you can get one in if you like, but up to you. I do like to get in, let new viewers get one in, even if we just close the queue. You know, I think that is fair. That is a good way of doing it, you know. Okay, back to closed. Let's go ahead and refresh our lives. This is the lightning round. It's a whole thing. Oh, I need to get the next one up. Next up is Lord Bowser. Lord Bowser, say a thing. You know what to do. If you are here, we do this in the lightning round regularly. If you are not here, we still play the level, but we do it in very nearly but not quite sudden death, which means a lot fewer tries. Also, it's worth noting, subs get bonus heads. Bonus tries. Represented by bonus heads. It's a whole thing. Lord Bowser was here a minute ago. He's good for it. Just did a raid. Whole thing. Let's go. Let's do this this airship. Keep things moving here. Just got a couple levels left in the queue, and we will go out with a raid. There you are, Lord Bowser. Perfect. On time. As often is. What is this shit? Thank you for the follow, Shoop. You foo. Shoopoof09. Much. No!
Oh no!
You're gonna pop out early? See you later, Ida. It's been good having you. You have a good one. Okay, we gotta watch out for the ground pound thing. That's gonna kill us if we're not careful. We gotta be off the ground. Is this toggling by any specific... Is it like toggling on jump or something, or... That's a mushroom. I'm gonna assume the other one is also a mushroom. Yikes.
Oh, no.
Okay. You might remake this, but use cans as crushers. Gotcha, use the basic idea you mean. Fuck.
Oh, no.
This level does not seem that hard, but I guess, you know, these crushers are unforgiving. And, you know, we get trapped in the stun. We're gonna
Oh,
die.
no.
We might finish this. We might do this next time, Lord Bowser. Might be a next time thing. Crunch Wrap themed airship? Yeah. That's not a bad stream title. I'll say I already have the stream title in mind, though, so... Fuck!
Oh, no.
I got crushed there. Next time we'll do that. Yeah, there's so much crushing, so much crushing. I liked it though. Looking forward to another crack at it. Let me pull up the next level. Next level is from Infinity Man. Infinity Miner. Infinity Miner, go ahead and confirm. You're just here like a minute ago, so, you know, hey, if you don't know, the lightning round moves fast. No, you're not going to be waiting for long during the lightning round, which is a really cool part of the lightning round. Part of why I love it. Towards the end of each stream, I do the lightning round. What did I type in wrong? Oh, that's an F, not an R. All right. That'll do it. This'll do it. These just 2 more levels, and then we will raid out somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe. Fuck. That's totally not the right thing to do. Okay, I know what to do though. I got an idea. You're gonna remake the level, but with your own spin. Gotcha. That is cool. I see the indicators. I can read. This is cool. This is very intuitive. Ooh, that was close. And there's a checkpoint, so our tries are refreshed. Perfect. Lovely. No problems. What? Oh, we need to stall there for a second. Okay. We need to stall there. I will say, again, sub goal will be active for this stream, and then I'm going to take it down after tonight. So it's possible if someone wants to extend this stream by I don't fucking know how long, you could drop, like, you know, that many subs, but it doesn't seem like that's in the cards for tonight. I will say, if some subs were to come in, I would reduce the next sub goal by that amount. If the next time when I make one, which might be like the anniversary stream, the streamiversary in November. Or it might be like sooner, I don't know. Got time. I could do a special stream, but honestly, I'm happy just doing a regular 3 stream a week type deal for now. That was really nice, Infinity Man. I really enjoyed it. Good work. Hit complete and hit next. And refresh my lives. The last level of the night is, I believe it is Shapu, right? Shupoof. Play the top level. Didn't have the code handy. No problem, I can do that. You can always specify what you want played. Or if you want the super world or not, or, you know, your choice when it comes down to it. Let's go, let's do this. It looks like there will not be 50 turns of Mario Party 4 tonight, but, you know, we could do something like that in the future. There are a lot of Thursday streams. Maybe of a more modest length, though. I don't know. We'll see. What makes sense. Some sort of puzzle level? What's the deal? Okay, so that's sky is going to explode. Toggle the on, off. What does that do for me? Let me know if you need a hint. If you want to give a hint, I'm open to it. Go ahead. I don't know that we need one yet. I will say, the case of a timeout counts for all of our lives during the lightning round. That's just, you know, how we gotta do to balance, like, you know, to account for levels that are more, where the difficulty is more in figuring it out before time runs out, you know? Getting over it type levels. Otherwise, this setup wouldn't really work for that. Here we go, hey. We got through the thing. This is gonna be the end? I think this is the end. There's a GG. It's big and made of blocks. That there is very nice. Hey, we did it. There's the last level. I'm going to hit complete. And, you can see there's the very nice cleared thing that happens when we hit complete. That only came into effect. I only did that effect like 2-3 weeks ago. So still quite proud of that. Still quite new that. I hope you all appreciate whenever that appears. Let's go ahead and get this down. Get the lightning round down. Folks, it is time to end the stream. Thank you all for coming, hanging out. It's been a fun 4 hours. Let me pull up the schedule and tell you what's coming up. I'm going to end that sub goal now, by the way, unless someone were to sub like 10 subs right now and like redeem it, which I guess I would have to slow my roll and keep the stream going for who knows how long after this, but it looks like that'll be that. No Mario Party 4 today. You know, whatever, that's fun, that's cool. Mario Maker is cool on its own, regardless. I had a great night, and that was a lot of fun. I talked about it a lot, and now we're going to raid out. I will see y'all again on Monday around 8 p.m. Central. This Monday is the start of me replaying Twilight Princess HD. I'm going to start that up. That's going to be the next full playthrough, and that's going to be happening every Monday from here on out. Excepting times where I might be out of town for reasons, in which case I might reschedule, like to Thursday or something, or whenever. I guess also, you know, I'll say, playthroughs could always be on Thursdays as well, and in October there'll probably be a Ghost Trick replay. I was thinking about a Ghost Trick replay. I'm probably finding a way to squeeze that in there. Thursdays will be some sort of variety stream. I don't know what next week's is going to be, but it'll be something. And Fridays are always viewer levels of a Mario Maker 2 variety. That they will always be on that time. I'm planning on keeping to the schedule, despite being between jobs, you know, I could do some earlier streams if I so chose. Like, we could do some Friday morning streams. We could do some Thursday afternoon streams for now. But I'm just gonna keep that as is, stay the course, and I like streaming in the evenings, you know? It's a good time for a stream. Let me see who is online, who is going. Let's see who I want to raid tonight. Jax C007 is doing F099. I like F099 a lot. Let's raid Jax C. That sounds fun to me. Alright, folks, I will see y'all on Monday with the start of Twilight Princess HD. Thursday will be something, I don't know what. And Fridays will always be viewer levels, usually in the evening, but hey, I could mix it up. It could be in the afternoon, in the morning. You know, get a chance for some European viewers to come by, whatever. We'll see. Maybe we'll mix that up one of these coming weeks. I'll see you next week, folks. Next Monday specifically. Oh, and I might slip in a making stream sometime like Tuesday or something. Need to kick off development of the next level. Need to start thinking about that. That'd be its own separate stream, maybe on Tuesday or something. We'll see. Bye, folks. Let me get the thing ready to stop. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. I'll see you on Monday for Twilight Princess HD, the start of that. Bye, bye, bye.